Hi friends, I'm Prairie Vintage. My name's Linda. I'm an energy intuitive reader here on YouTube, and I use spirit, my intuition, the tarot to communicate energies to you guys, amazing viewers. If you're new to this channel, welcome. I'm so glad you found me. I hope you stay. And for those of you guys returning, I'm so blessed, so honored to be doing your reading again. You guys are all very safe and welcome in this space with me today. I love you guys very much. Today's reading is a requested reading. We're looking at the person on your mind, the person you came here about, and how's this person seeing you and the connection between you and this person, okay, from their point of view. So it is coming from sort of their relative perspective, okay? And sometimes the reading comes flipped and reversed, meaning it's your own energy, how you're seeing the person on your mind and the connection between you and this person. If that's the case, sometimes spirit does pull through with messages maybe that are in your subconscious or from the high self that needs to be communicated, but you're not forced to sit and listen to that message. Although my intention is always to tap into the person you came here about, but what spirit does on the back end has nothing to do with me. Okay, so I pre-shuffled oracle cards for all 4 piles. I have not looked at them. I asked the question, how does the person on your mind see you and the connection between you guys? And then we'll take a look at guidance. What should you do in your current situation connection, as spirit is suggesting? Okay, so 4 options, beautiful angels. I'll hold these up for those of you guys needing a little bit more to select. The timestamp is in the description box in the pinned comment below. I'll take you directly to your pick. This is option 1, this palm with this pine cone. Option number 2, we have this pink birdie. Option number 3, I have this carved wooden lion. And option number 4, you have this lotus flower. Okay, so beautiful angels. I'll leave the video running for a bit so you don't get the bars across the bottom, and sit with this energy. And if, like I said, if it doesn't feel right, you can certainly go click on another pile. You're not forced to listen to the pile you clicked on. There could just be maybe 1 or 2 messages in there, but the overall energy in that pile should be your connection. Okay, so no issues with you clicking out and going to another pile, and certainly don't force this reading to fit. This reading isn't for everyone. Only those of you guys with messages here will be resonating with one of these piles. All right, I'll see you at your pick. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile 1, you guys picked the palm with the pine cone. We're looking at the person you came here about, person on your mind, and how is it that this person is seeing you and seeing the connection between you and this person from their point of view. Okay, so it is subjective. And then we'll also take a look at some guidance and some advice for you in this connection. So beautiful angels, pre-shuffled oracle cards. I've not looked at these. Like I mentioned in the intro, if it comes reverse, meaning this is how you see your person and the connection, then there might be a message there in regards to from your high self or your subconscious wanting to pull through, but you're not obligated to listen. Okay, you can go click on another pile, or just there might not be a message here for you today. All right, so let's take a look. So we have eccentric, the first pull. Interesting. I'm getting some, let's put it like this, some, what's it called? Steampunk energy from this. Could be a message resonating for some of you guys. And we have number 1. It says, hurt heart, I see you. We'll lay all these cards out and before I start to channel. So let's hammer through this. Praying mantis, engage in your prayer and surrender. And we have the camel. And we have the octopus. Okay, so we have some Earth, Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, and then some water, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. I'm also feeling air, so we almost have everything out so far except for fire. So that would be Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We have fair, male, darker than lighter. Let's put that here. So some of these messages could be physical attributes for confirmation, but it doesn't necessarily mean that, okay? It's just the energy that's that card, that archetype might pull through here. Like, for example, darker could be referencing the shadow aspect of the masculine. Okay, we both have masculine and feminine. See blue eyes here and sandy brown hair. This person's wearing dark black, so it could be something that resonates. Visionary, light attributes, capacity to envision what is not yet conceivable to others, willingness to proclaim a vision without regard for personal gain. Shadow attributes, selling insights to the highest bidder, compromising your vision to make it more acceptable. Addict, light attribute, helps you recognize and confront addictive behavior. Shadow attributes, compromises integrity and honesty, allows an addictive pattern to have authority over your inner spirits. And we have movement with the serpent, windy hand and foot, and a magic wand here. So Aquarius energy, Scorpio energy, I'm also picking up. Abundance. So 7 cups overflowing. Could be getting the 7 cups from the tarot. 7 cups is all about fantasy. Could be also lots of options, a need maybe to prioritize or choose. Maybe a lot of confusion or muddled thinking. Here we have the intuitive eye overflowing, which could connect back to visionary. We have helmet, guardedness, isolation, and self-protection. Guardedness, isolation, and self-protection. So I have the helmet, and then we have a sword of truth pointing down, and we have 2 arrows crossing. 2 arrows could certainly be indicating a crossroads or a 2 swords scenario. And since the sword is pointing down, there could be some omittance of truth or avoiding seeing something clearly because of defensiveness, potentially. I'm getting Sagittarius energy. We have the miser, stubbornness and inflexibility. Okay, and then we have the air, unseen potential and hesitation. Yes, similar energy. We were getting some untapped truth, some unseen potential. And here we have 2 hands sort of holding the crown. Crowns could indicate empowerment. Hands could indicate doing, maybe giving or receiving. Empowered to do something here, or not to do something. We have the boar, which is also tying back to this stubbornness. Okay, and then we have ascending, transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. And we have a girl sort of floating with the balloons. And then we have the desert, 37, or the number 10. 10's about completion and ends of cycles. It's also about transformation, which we were feeling with this Scorpio snake. Snake is shedding the old. So the desert, something is slowly maybe drowning here. And I also have a camel that wanders the desert. Okay, and then we have the inventor, 21, or the number 3. Let's read the back of this. The inventor. It says, this is a good time to amplify your focus and to clear and purify space in your world and your mind to make way for something new. So you're feeling some sort of confusion here, and look at the 3rd eye was overflowing. I'm getting same energy from the sun shining through maybe some confusion or some untapped potential. In order to make way for new, we need to shed the old. So this is clarity, enlightenment, ascension, certainty. Her head is highlighted here. So this is the crown chakra, or maybe even the 3rd eye is more the spiritual side of someone being highlighted, visionary. And then we have the manifester with the number 12. Interesting, we have 21 and 12, which is mirrored numbers here. Okay, or I guess reverse mirrored, which is pretty interesting. If we're talking about a soul connection, sometimes the energy is mirrored. And here her head is also adorned with, it looks like a scarab beetle. So that is good fortune. Let's see. The manifestor, monitoring your inner dialogue and using quantum affirmations daily can help you to make real your desired life changes. Both are talking about life changes. Make way for something new. Life changes. So a lot of Scorpio energy pulling through. Also, Magician here with the manifestor. So we could be getting Virgo and Gemini. And I'm also getting a lot of Scorpio energy with this transformation. So here we have lead. So I'm getting Capricorn energy and also Scorpio energy. Number 20, the black and the white. Be talking about polarity, you know, the light and the dark side, integrating shadows, balancing masculine, feminine. And we do have the moon here. And then we saw the sun peeking through, which is masculine energy. Lead. So something very fixed, like this boar. Okay, beautiful people. Let me tap into this. I didn't realize how many cards we had here. But let me sit with this energy and then we will pull some. Let's do this. We will pull some tarot as well. And shortly, okay? So you can click on the video and skip ahead. Okay, beautiful people, you could flip the reading if this is how you see your person, like I said, but this one's coming through quite clear, okay? Your person sees you as someone here who is really involved in your own sort of energy, having to deal with certain things in your world that might not be the easiest right here for you. You know, this person feels like there's a part of you that might be very fixed in your current situation that is needing maybe a facelift, you know, shedding the old so you can make way for the new version of yourself. And so I do feel that this person feels that there's some maybe unhealthy attachments you might have to the status quo or how things are, but it's more of that they see how things are for you is very unfulfilling, and it's not bringing you what it is this person feels you deserve. I feel this person feels you deserve a lot that you're not getting in your current environment. And so, you know, it's getting in the way of you manifesting happiness and joy and great abundance. And so you might see something in your current situation that seems as though it's okay for whatever reason, but this person is kind of coming through saying, I could see something greater for you. You know, I see something greater. And like you could put this into context to this connection if you want, which we'll get into as well. That might pull through. But it's more you, how they seeing you overall. It's like you know, it could be how they're feeling also in this connection. And that's why that's pulling through, because now I'm getting sort of hit with both of these energies. It's like this connection isn't bringing any sort of substance to this person in a way here that might be fulfilling. So they might be feeling like they're enduring some sort of test here alongside of you as you go through some detachment of something in your world that you're currently attached to. But there's like an intuitive knowing here, you know, like they could see your potential and your happiness, and some of you guys might even this person sees you as somebody who is connected to the divine here, and maybe you're not tapped in or really fully connected in a way that's allowing you to make the changes in your world, but that you have the potential to really connect to the divine, you know, and act out of your intuition. So your person sees you as someone here who might be working on healing yourself and shedding old parts of self. So therefore you're kind of defensive, and maybe you're not seeing the truth of this connection just yet. You know, like you're sort of blind to this connection, or in denial, or just defensive of this connection, not speaking or taking action or showing up in a way here because you're still in a crossroads to make this decision. And so stubbornly, you're sort of fixed in your position and you're not wanting to even budge or see or try, maybe to, I don't know, experience the other side, if you will, of this connection, or allow yourself to surrender what has you stuck in your world. And so this person feels like you're, like maybe really attached to your world, very fixed, and that there are certain shadows you need to integrate of self, the part of you that is attached and the part of you that might have patterns in your world. So this person also sees you as somebody who is fairly intellectual, fairly intellectual here. And with this eccentric, you have a unique way of doing things. You might be, I'm sort of getting like a rebel or a tinkerer, maybe someone who enjoys your freedom or is kind of can't be held down in some way here, but that you've experienced some sort of pain when it comes to love or being cared for. That's that the hurts within you is really calling the shots here and creating this defensive energy. And that you really rely on yourself, and maybe you're really, really tapped into the divine. That keeps pulling through, like you're psychic or you have an intuitive knowing, an intuitive awareness that you drive with, and so this may be where the confusion, quote unquote, might be, is like you're tapped in or you have some sort of psychic ability or some way to connect, maybe even telepathically to this person. But yet when it comes to maybe having to shed what's not good for you or what's creating conflict in your world or confusion in this connection specifically, might have a hold of you. Some of you guys might be battling with addictions, drinking, okay, and maybe you have a difficult time committing or connecting to this person on a one-on-one until this heart matter is sort of resolved. But this person feels like they can see you. They see your full potential. I feel like this person, understands that there is something here between you guys that is only sort of a matter of time, but it would require you to surrender. And that you might feel like this person could end up hurting you in some way if you surrender or give up your freedom or commit to this person in some way. Like they'll be your demise or ruin you in some way, There's a lot of mind energy coming through. So maybe you're more mind over heart, like you're really logical about this connection specifically and maybe how you navigate. So matters of the heart isn't really something that you're comfortable navigating in. And so you stick to more logical things here. And so, yeah, that psychic awareness is really pulling through. So maybe they feel like you know that there's something more in this connection, like you intuitively know this and they're aware of this and you're sort of aware of this, but you are not allowing yourself to surrender, or there's something you're still attached to that you're trying to, I don't know, like shed or heal or, work with the divine through. Yeah. I feel like this person sees you as someone here who might be not swayed easily by public opinion or even by this connection in order to change yourself in a way here, maybe that would be for the better or to lean towards your full potential. But I feel like this person sees this almost as a very positive thing. Like you're strong in your convictions, like you have your own vision of what you want to do, and it's a strength of yours, but it's also an Achilles heel because you're not seeing the great truth, I feel, of certain things that would make you happy in your heart, not necessarily maybe logical sense. And so this is why this connection might be something you're not being honest about, or guarding against, because maybe logically it doesn't make sense to move towards this. And maybe you're being pulled by two different things, they feel here, like the old self or the self that's still attached to something maybe unhealthy, and then the self that maybe has passion and desire towards this connection or what would fill your heart, but you're sort of stuck. And so this is why they say you're not either seeing clearly, you're not choosing one direction, or you're sitting kind of indecisive, or just lying to self, or just fixed in your position at the moment, you know. And so maybe you're trying to get clear about movement, or you're praying for a decision, or they might be praying for a decision that you can decide whether you want to shed the old in order to take action here. Something about being enabled to take action, you know. And so you're hesitant about what to do in this connection, or whether to lean into it, to surrender, to give to it, to take action in some way. And so it's a very with this inflexibility and this lead with the black and white, it's like you see things the way you see it, and that's sort of what is. But I feel like there's a message here of you. I don't know if this is this person or like spirit pulling through, because this kind of seems like an independent sort of message here of, and maybe this is coming from you, you know, because I do feel this is different than what I was tapped into here. It's like you are working through a new phase in your world, and you're preparing for union, okay, with this ascending. So union of self, balancing self in order to get crystal clear in your world, so that you can take aim, so that you can take action and speak an authentic truth. So your authentic self is coming through here, wanting a voice, wanting to lean into your potential, and that would require you to shed the false self, okay, and ascending, which just means removing everything that's false, everything that's distorted, and the hurts and the pain and the shadow, integration. So we transcend certain shadow aspects in order for us to ascend and gain a greater level of consciousness, so that we can get very clear about what we want and our potential and take action, you know. So right now there's uncertainty, and really it could be clouded by substances, you know. I say the drinking here because I see it, but it could just be symbolic of distractions in your world. Something is distracting me instead of allowing me to take action or be pointed and direct in my world. And so I need to shed the things that are not working. And I feel like maybe that is your understanding here, you know, and maybe you felt very alone. But I feel like the false self is shedding, or the egoic self might be shedding here. And so there's a lot of fear around this process, because then what would this mean, right? We got to sit with our emotions, dive into our subconscious, and maybe, I don't know, there's almost like needing the resources, you know? And so I feel like maybe you might be, what this person feels is maybe by shutting them out or being defensive, feeling like you have to do it alone, or you and the divine, and this person might feel like they want to, I don't know, some way in, or let you know that they understand something about you, or they can help you or support you. You don't have to go alone. And so I feel like this person also feels like some resources sort of missing in this connection for fulfillment. So there's a dryness here, like a lack of emotion or emotional depth being communicated or shown, you know. But I feel there is a commitment here to this process. I think this person sees more positive than they do the shadow self here. And because I feel like this person sees your light underneath, I guess, what is going on egoically here, which is, for some of you guys, your addictive behavior or unhealthy patterns. So maybe we have a pattern of not engaging in connection, you know, in a way here that is fulfilling, because we have a hurt heart. And so we might be defensive, or we just guard, you know, or we might not be authentically honest or true or express self. So we withhold emotion. And so this person sees beyond this as your light being under this sort of egoic false self that's been stemmed from pain. And it's a process of allowing that sort of to, you know, transmute into something that remains light rather than dark. So confirmation for some of you guys, like I said in the card layout, you might have light sandy brown hair, or lighter colored hair, maybe light brown, or light eyes, fair skin. You might like to wear a lot of dark colors, specifically black, I feel here. And maybe you're more of a rebel type energy. Some of you guys might like to ride a bike, like a motorcycle. or just, yeah, like a bike. You like your freedom, independence. Yeah, something's coming through about you sort of being a solo character, you know, like, but maybe that's part of this attachment to being my own solo person, and therefore I can't let anyone in, which is something that might be stemmed from the hurt heart here. And so they see why you need to be independent, or why your freedom might mean a lot here, because there's an avoidance here of allowing anyone maybe to get in, you know, so you hold your emotions to self. But as you hold emotions to self, there's some sort of thing you're not able to communicate in this connection or take action on in this connection. And so I feel like there's a lot of knowing between the two of you guys. I feel like this person sees you, and maybe they feel seen by you, or like you understand more than what you're saying. Like you could see this person's light as well. And it's like you might see what it is you're needing to do, but maybe you haven't taken action, or just hesitating right now because of the current state in which you're in. You know, but I feel like there is an overflow of emotions here that are felt, whether they're being expressed or not, or shown or not, is the question, and which I don't think it is according to this person. But I feel like there is a lot of love, you know, and maybe this person has expressed a lot of love here. So yeah, let's see here. We're going to use this tarot pack, which I haven't used in like a while, because there's just so many messages that pull through when I use this pack, because they're front and back, upside down, reverse. There's like 4 different meanings. And so I'm going to try to, rather than explain the cards here, read what pulls through, because sometimes it's a little bit overwhelming. So let's ask spirits then for pile 1 in regards to pile 1's person and how they see pile 1 and this connection. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. How is pile 1's person, the person they came here about, seeing pile 1 in this connection? And then we will get into what can be done here. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords in reverse. So that's a lot of the main thrust of this reading. I'm not talking my truth, and I need to get empowered to my potential. So I'm hesitating, and I'm not speaking and taking action on truth because I don't see the authenticity within me, or at least I'm not empowered to take action on it. And so maybe you're leaning into the unhealthy habit of being defensive, or the unhealthy habits of distraction, or the thing in your world that needs shedding, rather than leaning into this connection with clarity, giving certainty about what you want. Because I feel like this person feels you want to, or at least you have deep emotions here that aren't expressed. And so there's a lie to self. Okay, and so aces are all about new beginnings, and that was all over this sorry, as I bang the cards, all over this reading was a new beginning, because we need to shed the old and make space. You know, both of these we're talking about, in order to manifest, we need to make the space for something new. But as long as we don't sort of, I don't know, take action or get clarity, then we can't really do the new. Oopsie. I don't want to cover the child. Okay, well, I don't know. There we go. I don't want the cross in reverse either. There we go. Okie dokie. So we have Ace of Swords in reverse, 5 cups. And we have Judgment. And then we have 6 cups. And then we have the King. I don't know if this is King or Queen. The Queen of Swords on the back side here. And then we have the 8 cups in reverse. Sorry, you guys, if you hear my son. So I do feel I'm pulling this one, and then I feel I'm doing that. Okay. And this is the Knight of Pentacles, and here's 3 swords. I don't generally read bottom of the deck reverse, but I'm going to read it exactly as it is because this is kind of how it's coming through. So, beautiful people, your person, they see you as dealing with things in your world here that are not for the greatest good in your world, and it's sort of your choice, you know, because it really is your choice whether you want to lean into authenticity and take action on truth and see clearly, or you want to sort of stay in suffering. Okay, I use quotes because if we're in a situation that isn't authentically us, we stay in suffering. And so there's a 3-cup situation that you're in. So the third energy gets in the way of you seeing the truth. So the third energy could be, I'm not confident enough to take action, or I'm too hurt enough to talk or speak what I emotionally feel, or I'm distracted by my addiction, or there's something in my world or someone in my world that I'm still involved with here that isn't fulfilling me, but I'd rather sort of sit here looking at what's not working than to embrace 2 cups, which is this person. Again, something very dry coming through. I think this person feels unfulfilled emotionally at this time, but it's because you're needing to lean into your authenticity, you know, express yourself. And so your energy is being sort of focused on the thing here that they feel isn't sustainable, might already be over, and maybe you're mourning or needing to, again, the black coming through. So it could be symbolic of you mourning a past life, mourning a past lover, you know, mourning some part of yourself that you're needing to accept is over or not working for you, you know, and so you're sad about it. But I feel like this person is sort of alongside observing this sort of energy, thinking like, okay, like there is a greater truth, you know, there's the ascension again. So it's like, once you ascend, you'll see the great truth. You'll get clear about the great potential, that you don't need to be sad, or you don't need to mourn, or this thing wasn't at your level anyway, or it wasn't sustainable, or it's only the false self you're mourning, because there's a greater truth to you, greater potential to you. And what this is your happiness here, and maybe creating a family or connecting with others, you know, like being vulnerable and sharing. Like this is a family unit, so there's trust, there's vulnerability, there's connecting, there's no withholding, you know. And look at this guy's holding his skull, so it's like the transformation, and there's the bridge. So I need to transition out of whatever energy I'm in order to embrace some sort of clarity and truth. And so I don't know, some of you guys might share a child, but this could be just symbolizing the inner child, you know, which again, where we house a lot of energy that might need to be transmuted, or pain that we have in our heart. And here's the masculine, feminine energy. So we might have to balance the 2 here in order to ascend, you know, and the 2 energies would be my feminine energy, which is able to be compassionate, vulnerable, you know, and agreeable on some level, open to receive and give love unconditionally. And then my masculine, which is being empowered to take action, you know, and mind, and one's more heart-based. So yeah, there's a need for balance here. And this is really I'm seeing you coming into some sort of awareness, or having to sit with the truth, because maybe they feel you already know the truth, you know. And so there's an energy here of slow and steady progress to manifest. But in order to have progress, there needs to be a sense of empowerment and taking action with this, with the antlers. Okay, I'm going to divine masculine energy, which is doing. So I have to do, you know, I have to get empowered to do, or have the confidence to do, or trust myself to do, so I can manifest something of substance, or I can stay where there's no manifestation, you know, crying about what won't work in my world. So 6 cups. This person sees you as somebody here who might be stuck in the past, you know, a past situation, or just the hurt that you experienced in the past, or your old energy has you intertwined in it person, place, thing of the past, hometown, your home, your family life, something here, situation, you know, that's they feel is ended or needs to be accepted as something that was a part of your life. And maybe you're really reflecting in that world, you know, like you're really, really reflecting. I'm seeing the Hermit's lantern everywhere here. So that's about self-reflection, getting to know thyself. And then we see all these stars, which is talking about the potential, you know, the untapped potential here, cosmic potential. But it's all out there for you. But maybe we're kind of playing small or staying until we really understand ourselves, you know. So we see the Queen of Swords in reverse. And so Queen of Swords kind of giving me this octopus energy because it's all about the intellect. But there's something very cold here. And again, it's like turning our back on some truth. You know, it's like the truth is out there. And I might have everything I need in order to embrace the truth. But I turn my back on it, or I don't want to accept the truth or provide clarity in this situation. Like I can't get clear and speak my truth about my emotions here. So this feels cold and I feel shut out. I think your person feels shut out from you, you know, but that you've experienced something here that can give you enough perspective here to be honest, to cut through. But instead of maybe embracing it, you're turning your back on the truth of something here, and you're still sort of reflecting or connecting or contemplating. And yeah, like you're stuck. You don't want to walk away or leave a situation that's creating you a 3 swords, or you're preventing, like there's an understanding here that's really pulling through that says they think you'd rather stay in a situation that is not emotionally pleasant, thinking that if you were to detach from it and manifest or move forward, there'd be more pain, or you're avoiding looking at your heartache. And so you suppress it or you avoid it. And so there is a feeling of separation here, sadness, you know, that the great truth would be something that would set you free and liberate you and actually give you the freedom you seek. But you're pegging yourself, either knowingly or unknowingly, because I don't think you'd choose to, but what they see is you're pegging yourself to an emotionally happy situation from the past that keeps you there because you're already emotionally invested at one point in time, and you're trying to understand something here, but it's like grasping at an untruth or keeping the clarity of the situation at bay and guarding yourself because you don't want to experience diving into a 3 swords of having to part or walk away or change your life here in some way that would allow there to be new manifestation. That would require you to get empowered, to take action. So I'd rather just sort of stay in this hesitant world, you know, rather than embrace the truth. But it feels cold. 9 Pentacles. So the 9 Pentacles is the confidence in order to become available. You know, this is, I've independently can stand here and make myself available to create with another and sustain myself, you know, and I feel like she's looking at the moon and there's the dove. So the moon's all talking about the subconscious, the fears. The dove's talking about peace, liberation. The white is the purity of self and clear consciousness here. It's like in order to be independently free and confident, which they feel you're seeking, whether you know it or not, there's a need to tap into the authenticity and allow yourself to find peace in the experience of facing your emotions and potentially looking at those unfounded fears so that you can heal whatever needs healing here in the broken heart. Because what's happening is your defensiveness, your shield, or your guardedness of the world or of them in this connection is what's going to create pain for you. And so you might be using this as a sort of a protective mechanism to keep people out or shut them out. But the truth of the matter is you're still sitting in the rain, you know, like rain symbolizing emotions. And so you're still feeling the overflowing emotions here. The only person who's really suffering here is you, because, you know, whether you're taking action on it or not, and they feel like you're just stationary, like sitting here in the defensive suit, metal in the rain, you know, getting rested, not moving. So it's like you're your sort of worst enemy, when you could just face the fear, dive into the subconscious here, and really take a look. I think this person feels you've had multiple opportunity here to take a look at your situation of the past in order for you to make peace with it, so you could connect to your authentic self and make yourself available to yourself in this connection. Like, be independent, confident, and free in some way. And here we see the tower in the background. So you might have, I don't know what's peeking out of that window, but you might have, you know, something built in your world here that could still be salvaged in some way. Or to actually face the fear would be to look at the thing that is standing still and decide, you know, make peace with what's standing still. Or I don't know, something you're needing to face here that is just you're not wanting to look at in your current world, because you're avoiding dealing with the three swords of separation or pain, or, you know, that it would require you to walk away. There we see the shooting star, which is all about hopes and vision for the future. It's like at the expense of your new vision, hope, future, you sit in some situation that is unpleasant. You know, like look at this. Oh, of course, this is the one that is difficult to hold up, but look at the sun in this card. Like, it's bright, it's beautiful, it's clear. And so I think they see this as your potential. And like everything else here is like dark and you know, dreary and sort of cold, you know. And so instead of being in the sunlight and ascending, it's like we're choosing to be in the cold, shut out in the dark. And so I think this person feels this from you, you know, and they're hoping or wanting or seeing or understanding that once you embrace the truth of your situation and fully ascend in some way, that you can manifest great light and beauty. But you are the one that needs to get empowered here. Okay, so let's take a look at some advice for you. I'm going to clear this and grab the advice cards. Okay, I'll be right back. Hello, beautiful angels. Let's take a look at your advice. Now, I do feel for some of you guys, this pile could have certainly been reverse, you know. So this is going to be advice for the viewer here, spirits. So I don't know if this was your person or what, but we're going to ask for some guidance, some advice for the viewer, please, and thank you. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. Thank you so much, Spirit, for this guidance and this advice. Now, if this was your person, like if it was flipped, sorry, then you might want to go check out another pile, because we could have a flipped pile here, okay? Very, very common in the energy frequency that I tap into here, which has been pretty consistent for the last, I don't know, 4 years, 3.5 years here. So seems to be the same. Flip piles. Let's take a look. So we have surrender to what is. Flow with what is instead of fighting it. When you can't change a situation, compassionately accepting it exactly as it is will bring you peace. So this is the dove with the white. We talked about the peace and having to face the fear. And so the fear is having to face what is. Like I said, look at that structure. You know, the tower was there facing the moon, and the dove was like, I have to accept my situation. So there's some in denial. You know, some in denial, or some not wanting to see a situation as it is and become honest with it. And when we accept it and surrender to it is as it is, then there's some authenticity, some clarity, some peace, you know. And so although I think there is a lot of confusion with your situation, and I feel is mostly driven by not surrendering and accepting what is. Because once we accept what is, all of those clouds seem to dissipate. Then we can start working with what is, you know, what's actually valid, what is sustainable. So I feel that energy was really sort of stuck in a passing situation that is needing to be let go of and accepted for the truth in order to find peace and authenticity, and maybe peace in this connection, truth in this connection, direction and clarity in this connection, but more specifically in order for you to ascend and become enlightened and clear, because there's a lot of obstacles created by your uncertainty, which I feel is created by you, or at least that's how it's pulling through here. Beyond limitations, today I exceed my own expectations. I open my consciousness to the infinite. There are no limitations. There is no end. Everything is unfolding in a continuous now. Therefore, I open my thoughts towards a broader horizon. I look beyond my perception of reality, beyond all barriers created from my own beliefs and fears. I am now open to new possibilities. So yeah, it stemmed down to having to face the moon, because the moon is facing our own fear, and really it's unfounded, because I feel we're attached with the addict card to some unhealthy belief or some way of being that is only created by ourselves. We keep it up, we keep it alive by being attached to it or believing it to be true, but it is not reality. It is only our perceived reality, and so it creates a limitation for self, and it's creating a limitation in this connection. So in order to move beyond any limitation, there's a need to let go of our own connection to the fear or the story we tell ourselves, because our perception is actually unfounded. It's just kept alive by our own sort of inner understanding of it, which is an illusion. Okay, so this person feels like in the reading that you were upkeeping an illusion. They might not say it that way, but it's like the story you tell yourself and the belief and the identification you have to the past story or version of self or your current situation is not reality. It is stemmed from your fear of making changes in that world. And so Spirit is confirming this, that all you're doing is really creating a limitation for yourself by attaching to that story or belief. Okay, everything changes. A soft light radiates from my heart. It illuminates those around me and transforms every situation I encounter. I maintain a positive attitude in spite of any difficulties I may perceive. No matter the circumstances, I remain a source of true joy. Everything changes when it is bathed in the light of the divine. So we see a beautiful scenic nature scene here. So I feel like there's a need to lean into the natural flow of things rather than resist or face backwards, like open, there's a path open in front of you that will lead to clarity and certainty that is organically unfolding here, just like nature. And so with everything changes, it's like accepting that the past is the past and the now is the now, and really focusing on the now, like what's ahead of me for me to take one step in front of the other. It's beautiful and it's unfolding. And instead of fearing the change, leaning into it as a beautiful thing. So I feel like you feel maybe, according to this person in the reading, like to allow things to shift in your world would be very, very scary and horrible thing. But meanwhile, Spirit now is pulling through with the guidance that it'd be beautiful for you. It's actually more peaceful, organic, and bring you more joy and certainty and happiness, and it flows very naturally. It isn't something forced. Yeah, it's nothing forced here. Affirmation: I listen to myself and acknowledge my needs. I assert myself and retain my power. I am brave and gentle. I don't have to be afraid of others. I respect myself and I am respected by others. Yeah, a lot of red, so root chakra stuff. So that's that addiction, right? Or unhealthy behavior or whatever it is that you're sort of battling. The unhealthy attachment we have to our past self belief. And so there's a need to not be afraid to trust another, because I feel like with the root chakra, it's all about that, what was it when we had that, this card, and it's red here too. Hurt heart, I see you. So it's like because I was hurt, I have a difficult time trusting, and so I've developed unhealthy patterns, and so it's difficult for me to be vulnerable or trust others, and so I might not respect myself by not allowing myself to love, be open to love, or allow things to flow. So that's a form of self-sabotage, a form of, when we're not in our authenticity, then we're not loving to self. We're choosing the false self, or the self that isn't being clear, or that isn't true. We're not choosing the truth, and so this isn't respecting self. And so when we can't respect ourselves, how can we respect another? So I feel like this person feels shut out by you because you're choosing some false belief over the truth, and only because you don't want to get hurt, or you're trying to protect yourself. But it's really, it's not in line with the truth. So the affirmation here is that I am brave enough to trust. And Spirit is saying this is something you can trust naturally, organically. It's beautiful here. Provide you with the warmth and the clarity. A new opening. Yes, that was all over your reading. When one door closes, I am confident another will open, and it will be for my betterment. I accept that life brings challenges and acknowledge the opportunity and learning they present to me. Sincerity comes from within. So look at the purple. So we have from the root all the way to the crown chakra here, okay, which is the whole being. I feel like you totally need to jump in and encompass the new opportunity that the divine is really saying is the new opening for you. It is very divine, is very spiritual, but we have to close and release to make space for new. We have to close out past, okay? And so I feel like Spirit's saying trust. You can trust the situation authentically. Listen to life. I am attentive to the world around me. Signs and symbols guide me to success. I listen and discover the way to the eternal. So blue is the throat chakra, self-expression. So listening, okay, because the throat chakra is about how we can express outwardly and how we intake. I feel like there's a need to allow ourselves to be authentic with what's coming in and what we're putting out, and in order to do this, we have to be very still so we can listen, get out of our own way. If the fear is loud, then we're not really listening to the guidance. And so the divine is saying it is safe to express, it is safe to trust, it is safe to allow yourself to release any sort of pain here. You are seen, okay, you're seen here. I see you. So I feel like this person sees your true authenticity here. And so I feel like the only person here maybe that is not is you allowing it to be a thing here. Okay. Surrender to Spirit. Once you've done everything you can do to achieve a goal, turn the situation over to the divine. Let Spirit work its magic for you. And look at nature again. So, and very symbolic of the same sort of thing, like walking through nature, and there's like the light. It's like naturally allowing the flow of the universe to guide you rather than resisting or looking backwards, or let's just look forward and give the wheel to Spirit and trust that when you surrender and let go of the thing of the past, you will walk into happiness, joy, and clarity here very naturally and beautifully. It's very, very much what you're being guided to do at this time. And I feel you might be resisting this, but really it's just the light, the joy that's coming towards you. And so I feel Spirit is wanting you really to lean into the now in order for you to take steps into the future, because we're hanging on to the past, or we have a difficult time because we're attached to some story of the past, some action that we're attached to that's really just protecting some painful part of ourself. And it creates a limitation that doesn't really exist outside of our own belief that it does. Okay, so beautiful pile number 1. This was a long reading, but it is your reading nonetheless. I love you very much. If this was flipped for you, then you might want to go check out another pile. Okay, bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 2. You guys picked the pink birdie. Absolutely adorable. We're looking at the person on your mind, person you came here about, and how are they seeing you and this connection. It's coming from their perspective, so it is their relative perspectives, not the absolute truth. Okay, so if this comes reverse, this is going to be most likely how you see your person. If that's the case, then you might want to go check out another pile, or you can listen to the reading, because sometimes we have our high self pull through, or our subconscious pulling through with messages from the divine that maybe need to be clarified, but you're not forced to listen. And of course, this should be the overall energy of your connection. Okay. Don't force any specific messages for individuals. This reaches a broad range of people. So not everything is going to be 100% your story, but the overall energy should match in this general reading. Okay, so pre-shuffled oracle cards, I've not looked at them, and then we'll pull some tarot as well. We'll get some advice in your current connection and see how you should sort of navigate. But let's take a look at how this person sees you and / this connection at this time. So we have worthy heart. You are enough with a number 2. Okay, so 2 is all about balance, duality, choices. I'm getting gold, golden heart. Wow, beautiful energy. So we have crow, trust your transformation. Crows are all about death, which is the transformation, communication between worlds. And we see the moon, divine feminine energy. And we have the eagle. Wow. So the eagle has an ascended perspective here. Air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. We also have Cancer and Pisces energy pulling through with the moon. Lots of gold. Wow. Gold. Beautiful. And we have the peacock, more air energy pulling through, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So peacock sometimes could symbolize ego, but I feel like potentially it could even be beauty or self-expression here, confidence. Something about you being very attractive potentially, or eye-catching here. Wow, okay. Yeah, I almost took my breath away there for a moment. Freedom. Casual, being single, and lightness. Look at her just floating in the clouds. Lightness. Ascension. So we see lots of clouds. Clouds can symbolize confusion. But she's up in the sky, which is ascension. So we have Fool. Light attributes. Fearlessly reveling. Sorry, I always say that. Fearlessly revealing emotions. Helping people laugh at absurdity and hypocrisy. Shadow attributes, using humor to wound rather than liberate, denial of your emotional truth. And so we see the mask and tragedy and comedy, but this Fool could be related to the Fool in the tarot, which is risk-free, baggage-free, taking chances, new beginning. King, light attributes, enlightened. Wow, that was what I was getting with this one. Benevolent leadership, benefiting those in your charge. Shadow attributes, excessive feelings of entitlement, rulership without restraint. So this is more divine masculine, and here we have divine feminine. Okay, and then we have connect to people, connected at the heart here with all these intuitive eyes. So the triangle is giving me the womb. The womb is feminine energy, fertility. So we have connect. And we have communication, the intuitive eyes again, and 4 serpent hands. So the serpent's talking about wisdom, but also about healing. Maybe taking action here with the hands, doing something here in order to communicate. We were getting communication with the crow, so Scorpio energy as well pulling through. Here we have the knot, stability, security, and resilience. Okay. And here we have the king. Oh my goodness, you guys. This is quite interesting. So here it says control, reversal of fortune. And so this sword is deteriorating and it's pointing down. You know, and when I see the sword of truth not up and strong, it's like some sort of truth that's eroding or not sustaining, or something, the dissolution of some sort of understanding. And the crown's talking about empowerment. Same with the king, getting empowered. With the hands, yeah, getting empowered. And penguin, the black and the white here. But the penguin doesn't fly. And the eagle flies. The penguin could be the masked self in some way. I do want to read this penguin because I feel like maybe there's some sort of suit we're wearing. What's with the penguin spirit? This isn't in alphabetical order, so I will. That's kind of, oh my goodness, that's going to be over here somewhere. There it is. Family and close relationships. A gregarious critter, the penguin is all about family and loved ones, doing everything it can to provide for its close relationships. A penguin is almost never by itself, knowing that a solid system of support is key to the survival of both the individual and the species. Humans are wired similarly. If you pull this card in your readings, it's time to reach out to your support system. This looks different for each of us, of course, and may include family, friends, lovers, or even coworkers. Regardless of what your system looks like, something about the situation at hand requires you to reach out. Spend time with those who bring joy, peace, and healing. You've suffered in silence long enough. Let your loved ones be there for you. It's also possible that whatever you're going through directly involves your loved ones. If this is the case, it's time to weigh the importance of this relationship in your life. Do you want or even need this relationship to continue? If the answer is yes, is this conflict doing more damage to the relationship than it's worth? Is this conflict doing more damage to the relationship than it's worth? We must learn to pick our battles wisely, regardless of how this card applies to your current circumstance. The message is clear. Reach out to those you care about. Wow, I feel like there's you enduring something here, potentially. So what do we have? The Wanderer. Wanderer. Wow, that's quite strong as it pulls through from the Law of One. If you guys are familiar with the teachings of the Law of One, with the Wanderer here, set here to Earth on a mission of sorts here. Cassette, outdated thinking, conditioning, replaying events over in your head. Let's put that here. And then we have the Mentor. Look at this owl flying above, very wise. And I see it looks now like an explosion here to me, like the world sort of exploding below, rising above, maybe chaos, or I don't know. And here we have the Drama Queen. Yeah, the Chaos. 14. 14 is Temperance, Sagittarius energy. It's about balance. Some people need a high level of attention to validate their sense of worth. Make sure that you are not that person staging needless plays. So we're getting the comedy and tragedy, which could be talking about drama. But this message is clear. Alchemical wedding. So we have the black and the white, which is we're talking about the Temperance. But here we have the two sides coming to inseminate to the egg, like a wedding, a union. Two people coming together to work together to find harmony and balance. Card number 60, or 6, which is Lovers, a choice. Gemini energy. So we have very strong Gemini, a Libra, Aquarius, and yeah, even with the owl here. A little bit of Pisces pulling through with all the intuitive eyes, and Scorpio with the crow. Okay, beautiful angels. I am going to pull a different wand for this reading. We will pull the tarot as well. You can skip ahead and let me get into channeling your message. Okay, beautiful angels. Wow, this is very powerful. All your person is seeing you. I think this person sees you as somebody here who they're just sort of in awe of your energy, because I feel like this person sees you as someone here who might be very different than the majority of people that they've encountered or that socially or maybe around them, because there is an energy of you just being very ascended here, okay? Like ascended in the way of higher level of consciousness, but having the humility and the grace enough here to still connect maybe and show your leadership qualities to people who might be lost, or I don't know. I feel this person puts you on a pedestal is what I feel. And so this could certainly be the flip person to pile number 1. Okay, because I feel there's sort of two energies. One, your person who is seeing you in this way, who might see themselves as somebody who is below your level, is kind of what I feel here. And so they're creating all sorts of drama and pain and suffering, and something about them maybe being stuck in something, but you connecting with this person on a level here that you can, I don't know, you can see through this person in a way here, but I feel like this person sees you as somebody not only beautiful and as an articulate person who can communicate, but who's very insightful and very ascended. This person feels like you're very wise in your experience in life. And so there is this knowing that you have, but it is nothing that you flaunt potentially. It's like you could see through the truth of situations here. And so I'm seeing within this connection that they feel like maybe you want some sort of security or to attach yourself in some way to this person in a way that you can rely on them to be your equal or to create some sort of stability or security, and that potentially this person has let you down. Okay, and so you've been wandering sort of without support potentially here from this person. But I think that this person has witnessed you transform, or at least they know of you being in one energy and experiencing difficulty and challenge and rising above. So at one point you might have been in the fray and you've had to surrender, and maybe you've had to be very honest in revealing your authenticity and recognizing maybe your own ego and rising above with humility. And they see you as someone here who will take action towards what it is you want. You're empowered enough and confident enough to see things clearly, to take action, and that your ability to remain authentically in self has made you rise above anything going on in your world. That could be, I don't know, like people drama. It's like you've risen above the drama, which allows you to be free. So they see as a beautiful light energy, a light being that doesn't get easily swayed by the drama, And so, yeah, like you trust the process, or have trusted the process to get you where you are. And so they see you as someone ascended, someone very empowered, someone very beautiful, attractive, expressive. But I don't feel like they feel you have to prove yourself. It's just a beauty that comes in your presence. In fact, I don't feel this person feels you say a whole lot of anything, but they feel as though you're here to make a change here in the world. With this wanderer, it's like you're placed in this world in order to drive some sort of massive change, with your beautiful light, by being yourself, by expressing yourself, and introducing your wisdom here to create something. But they feel like maybe you've had to do it alone, and they definitely feel like maybe they haven't been able to support you, or that you don't have maybe a group of people or your family or friends or anyone around you to help you. And maybe you're in the process of taking something off or getting something off the ground, which has been difficult. So either you have done that and they witnessed it, or they see you sort of working through that and trust that you're going to get something off the ground. Like this person sees you as someone who's unstoppable, who is creating something here of value to the world, and that you're able to accomplish whatever you set your mind to. This person sees you as someone with a gold heart. Okay, like gold, like pure gold, like there's no ulterior motives. You're selfless. There's a service to others, that you're dedicating or committing yourself to from your gold heart, again, which is very selfless. And maybe you've had to communicate like your fears, or communicate and express yourself of how you're feeling about what has happened to you, or maybe you're sharing with them or with others in a way here that leaves you feeling vulnerable, but it's a strength and a beauty here your person feels, because you're trusting, you're very trusting of that authenticity. So there's something very still about you that's very beautiful and expressive, but then there's also a side here that is empowered. And it's not just taking action for the sake of it. It's almost like a beautiful energy of an unstoppable energy, really, because of your experience. And maybe it's been quite the process to get to this stage. You've had to accept certain things in your world that maybe you thought were true at one point in time. And so there is you getting empowered to accept certain truths of your situation and how they really are. Something showing, though, that's been taking a long time here with the acorns, the oak leaves, and the penguin here of, I don't know, something's taking a very long time. Like of you getting your own, or something to get off the ground, or you, I don't know, like maybe creating something here. And maybe it's taking a long time for this connection to be something you could rely on or commit to. There's also something coming through here that maybe you feel like this person would feel tied down or weighed down, but they're coming through here saying this is an untrue belief. That you feel like maybe this person doesn't want to be tied to you in some way. As I lose my throat chakra, which is telling me this person hasn't expressed to you. This person hasn't expressed or shown to you their desire to commit in a way here that you can depend or rely on this person to create the stability. There's a stability, security, and a resilience. So they definitely see your resilience in a situation where you haven't been able to secure yourself to them because potentially they've been untruthful, or not clear with you or honest with you. Okay, and I feel like this is taking a long time with the acorns, a very long time to create the stability and the foundation, because we have to dissolve what's untrue. And what's untrue is the egoic self. And I feel like this person could potentially still be deconstructing a part of themselves here. And you've risen above, or at least they see you as rising above this and being this light being with a gold heart, transforming, sitting here, facing the fears, although feeling potentially like they feel you've been doing it sort of on your own. Not quite flying just yet. And there's something about you being selfless and trusting and exploring in some way here that's ready to see what unfolds. This is very interesting. Yeah, this person does see you as being their yin to their yang, or that you guys can create something together. But I do feel like there would be a need for balance here. And they definitely see you as somebody who is fairly balanced, but who's had to work through a transformation of self and shed the false self. And also, what's pulling through here, and this could be something that you've had to work through, is some emotional truth here that maybe you weren't seeing or accepting, or makes you feel very sad. So there's some sort of thing you had to shed in regards to, I don't know, maybe this person's inability to commit to you in some way, or you not being able to get something secured or solidified or off the ground. And so this is painful in some way, and maybe you haven't allowed yourself to speak about your sadness, or you know, like express the sadness or go through the sadness, the process. I don't know. Let's see. We'll pull some tarot and see what pulls through here. Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2 and the person pile 2 has come here about. How is pile number 2's person seeing pile number 2 and the connection? How do they see pile 2 and the connection? So these cards are front side and back side. And so you can read them upright or reverse. So there's like literally 4 meanings or 4 various sort of ways you can read these cards. So they're very layered. So we'll sort of read them as they come out. Clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 2, Spirit. Thank you so much. How is pile number 2's person seeing pile 2 and this connection? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile 2. Thank you so much, pile 2, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed to be here. Thank you so much. All right, so we have the 2 of Wands, and is clarified by the Emperor in reverse. And we have the 5 Swords. And we have the Fool. Aquarius energy, Aries energy. Why is this 2 Wands here? We have the Tower. Why is this 5? Okay, let's leave that exactly like that. So we have the Page of Cups. Yes, the Page of Cups, the back side of the Page of Cups. Okay, why is this 5 Swords here, Spirit? We have Judgment, and I do feel it's like this. We have the Knight of Swords crossing the Judgment, and finally, why is this Fool energy here? We have the 9 Pentacles. The front side, interesting, because we had the back side of the Judgment and the 9 Pentacles, the back side in the reading number 1 pile, which you guys might be resonating with. Okay, let's read it like this. 9 Wands and 2 Swords, back side. Okay, let me sit here with this energy for a bit and see what we see. Page of Wands. Okay, beautiful people. This person feels like you've been at the mercy of this person's shenanigans in some way with the drama here, okay? Like they've been, how they're coming through is a reverse Emperor. So in their shadow, you know, like they haven't been there for you, however that is. And for a lot of you guys, I feel like you couldn't commit to this person, you know, or like create something stable with this person. This person's been MIA or withdrawn or removed or hasn't stepped up, hasn't been empowered, hasn't shown up for you. That's how they feel. And so, you know, you are looking at this situation as like, I don't know, like you're still looking at this situation and this person as someone who hasn't been able to step up. And so it's almost like you're in this observer mode, rising above a situation in which the false is being shattered here. And this person feels like it's taken quite some time here with this turtle, you know, for them to open their heart space up, and maybe they turn their back on you in order to, I don't know, focus on or deal with a tower in their world, which is something they've built that is not sustainable because it's their false self that has been engaged in whatever this is. And so there's a need to deconstruct this. And so this is what they've been looking towards or working with, and as a result turn their back on you. And so there's been some time here again with the acorns. I feel there's been a long time, you know. And so this person feels like they did you dirty. And so they knew they could choose this connection, and maybe they turned their back on you and are dealing with some tower in their world. And so there's like, ooh, we see bums here. There's a lot of backs. Yeah, they turned their back on you. So they're dealing with their karma, or they're having to face. They're having to face their karma. They're having to face the truth. They're having to face what they did, which is I abandoned you, or I did what I did when I didn't do what I was supposed to do, which was take action, step up, be empowered, choose this path. I abandoned you. I let you down. I betrayed you, or I just wasn't choosing you. And so some of you guys had to move forward and move on and break out of this situation with this person. Some of you guys, they see as somebody here who's still maintaining peace between you and them, but it's like you've connected with your authenticity, and maybe you're seeing yourself as somebody here who doesn't need this person or anything in order to move forward and move on. You know, like you're sort of independent on your own here. I see the hair, which is talking about that divine timing again. Something's taking quite some time, where you might have had no choice but to trust. Some of you guys, this person sees you trusting this situation from a loving space with the green garb here, which is giving me heart space, unconditional love. So it's like, I love unconditionally, and I'm strong enough here to make myself available, confident enough to not bring any baggage of myself into a situation here, in order to hold the light and the vision of what can be, even though you sabotaged me, or you sabotaged us, or you weren't acting in your most highest light, because there is a truth here that you're needing to confront and face. And so I can remain strong in my own position here, be guided by my own unconditional love, to not carry any of the baggage of the 5 swords, or what you did or did not do, into how I feel and how I show up here. And so if this person is, I don't know, defensive towards you, or maybe some of you guys are defensive, have been defensive towards this person. So I'm feeling there's sort of this mixed, blended energy here. But there's a history of a crossroads that didn't get pursued because someone, most likely your person, didn't take action. And so it left you sitting, looking at this unexplored potential of a path, of a connection, and you having to turn your back in some way, or at least understand that you can't explore this any further until this person deals with whatever they're needing to deal with, you know. But I don't know, like not intervening here with your own sort of drama, because they see you as someone who's risen above, again, like risen above the situation, and can confidently sort of depend on yourself and not really need this person in order to, I don't know, like do something here for you. Also, they see you, or this connection, I feel this person sees what they have done or have not done as a betrayal to you. Yeah, look, and you're wearing the green here. So despite what they've said or didn't do, what they've done and didn't do, whatever it was that betrayed the trust in this connection, or abandoning you in some way, it's like this person is not wanting to give up or throw in the towel. I feel like this person has a desire and a passion here. And look, they're wearing the red. I'm getting goosebumps. So really tied to pile 1, this person has root chakra blocks, which is their inability to feel safe. So they might lean into addictions or addictive behaviors that are unhealthy, patterns. You know, it's like I can't be vulnerable. I can't express myself. A lot of root chakra blocks. And so this has made me defensive. And this has made me act the way I acted. And despite me acting the way I acted, you've always been loving and kind and compassionate and unconditional and without baggage and confident in your own ability to stand strong here and maybe make yourself available to me. Or maybe you've had to sit there sort of silently looking at the uncertainty that I've provided to you, but you've always faced your fear, you know, and faced how you felt and faced your emotions in some way here that was very still and calming in some way. And we have the Page of Swords. Yeah, the Page of Swords. This person feels like, and this is another page, and this is another page. This person doesn't feel at your level, for one. I feel like this person feels like there's something in regards to them having to communicate a truth to you that hasn't been expressed or shown at all because they haven't taken action, haven't lived up to their potential, still have root chakra blocks here. And they feel like either they've been very immature, and so there's you sitting with an untruth of their own action because they haven't been clear or decisive with you, that has led you to not see clearly, you know, what the truth of this connection due to their own miscommunication or lack thereof, or not giving you clarity. And so this is what you have to work with as your understanding. And so some of you guys might be defensive and guarded against this person. Some of you guys see this person as being defensive and guarded, but they haven't given up, and that message is coming through here. And so you guys are facing this connection, like I said, with an open heart and forgiveness in regards to whatever's transpired here, because there's a greater truth and understanding that you've risen above to see the truth. Like you can confront what you need to, you know, with the understanding that you do have, even though it might not be a clear understanding because this person's never provided clarity or certainty. But the truth for all energies I see here is this person has a passion. They want to express something to you that they haven't yet shown you, because all they've expressed maybe is an untruth or giving you uncertainties that have created a lot of confusion, or just created a situation that you can't see clearly out of sabotage and pain created towards you, you know, and all because of some sort of false understanding or some thing in their world that needs to be deconstructed in order for them then to make themselves available, open their heart space towards you and act towards this connection, like to actually be empowered to express a truth and be reliable, or someone you could commit to in a way here that, you know, allows things to be clear. But it's like you've had to rely on yourself, and you've had to create your own sort of understanding based on this person's lack of dishing it out. So for this group, we're going to see a little bit more, and then we're going to pull some guidance and advice. So Spirit, can we dive into that energy a little bit more? I feel like I'm missing something for pile number 2. Pile number 2, in regards to how it is pile number 2's person is seeing them in this connection. We have the Strength in reverse, and that is Leo energy. We have 2 swords in reverse. We have the Ace of Cups in reverse. We have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. Here we have Judgment, which came out for pile 1. I don't want to cover the little kid here. Judgment. Yeah, you guys certainly might be the flip pile from number 1. Here we have the Magician in reverse, and I will do it like this. And we have 3 Wands in reverse, and then we have, what is this, the Star? Yeah, Star in reverse. Okay. Beautiful people. What's your person seeing? I think your person's beating themselves up here, and maybe rightfully so, because it's taking quite some time. It's like things could not move forward. You've lost hope, or the vision you could see for a future potential here has been stalled out. So nothing's manifested. A new beginning's been blocked. This person's been indecisive or hasn't chosen. So what's going on? I feel like this person is actually sitting with the truth of what has transpired here. And they're needing to take action based on truth now. You know, the truth is I've been indecisive, unclear. I stalled out for a new beginning. I haven't laid the groundwork. We haven't moved forward. We haven't manifested. I haven't been empowered to create. Things have been stopped. I got in the way of the universe, and I've been cowardly, and I have been holding myself back. This is how they see it. And so you might have lost hope, or they see that you are losing hope, or you will lose hope, or there's like the future is stunted here until I take action on a great truth, until I ascend, until I act on a higher version of myself in order for us to create, you know. And for a lot of you guys, it's like creating a family, but whatever the family is to you, like inseminating and confirming this connection, or like solidifying, you know, like tying the knot, could be getting married, or just like accepting there to be like a union, you know, a marriage of the two. But in order to come together, accept this truth, it requires me to become an ascended version of myself, to accept and embrace certainty rather than the uncertainty that I've been showing you. And all that's created was sabotage because of the tower in my world, and it's really stopped us from exploring this connection, having new beginning. Things are really, really stuck here with the stone and this wheel of fortune in reverse because I've been held back. But there's a lot of fire and a lot of passion towards you that I haven't been able to act on or show you, you know. And so the future's been stunted and stopped here. And this person really feels they turned their back on you, like time and time and time and time again. And it's taken quite some time. But I feel like what's really coming through here is like a recognition that I can see very clearly what I did do and haven't done, that I'm supposed to do and will need to do, is very clear. So I'm no longer lost in confusion about what that looks like, although I am sitting through, funneling through, sifting through what has been stuck, what I have not done, the actions I've taken, and the way I've been showing up here. And I'm really sitting with this so that I can see clearly what it is I'm supposed to do, because however it's been going, it has not worked for me, and it has not worked for us because we've been stuck here. And I've really been getting in the way of allowing myself to flow with the universe. I've been resisting, blocking, in denial, suppressing. And so the dissolution here of my belief of why I was incapable of manifesting or moving or needing to be held back was something I need to overcome in order for there to be something created here. And I do feel like this person feels they got in the way of their own wish, their own hope, their own vision of the future by doing what they did. 6 wands in reverse. Yeah, I lost out because of my own inability to step up and be clear and take action, and the path I avoided and turned my back. So I didn't win with you, and we didn't move forward, and I didn't do the groundwork. So shedding of the ego. And I feel like this person is recognizing something about the ego, and the ego is really, I did a certain thing that I thought I needed to be or do or say because I identified as that being me, you know. And so because I identified as that being me, I acted in line with that, but it wasn't the true self. So this person is having to shed that belief system structure and embrace some greater truth. That's the ascension process. That's the transmutation of the ego in order for them to rise above in this situation, to allow there to be new beginnings instead of resisting the divine nature here in order to get what they want, which I feel is a hope for a future and healing. It's like blocked. So I do feel, before I get to advice, I want to see like what's next then, because like it's like this person is sitting with their karma and saying, I missed out, it didn't work, I see what I didn't do, and they're seeing all the truth clearly, you know. I think they're seeing it exactly as it is, but what are they, because the only thing we saw there was the 9 wands, meaning I don't want to give up, I haven't given up, I'm still fighting, but it's still a defensive energy. So what does that mean? Let's see. Next move, next action. Pile number 2's person. What are they going to do next then, now that they've realized this? And then we'll look at some guidance. So we have 10 pentacles, and we have 8 swords, and we have the Emperor with his back turned. Aries energy. 6 swords in reverse. Why is this 10 pentacles here? I'll take the one that's revealed itself. So we see the King of Pentacles. Or is this the Queen? It's the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. Interesting. Why is this 8 swords here and this Emperor, the backside of the Emperor, and this 8 swords? And look at, okay, I'm going to leave that like that, 2 swords. Look at this eagle. Okay, so eagle pulling through again. Eagle talks about the divinity and talks about vision. Okay, so eagles have very good vision, and they're able to take action, which this Emperor was not able to do at some point when they were being called to do. Okay, I'm going to take the one that's revealed itself with the Earth, or the World, I should say, World card in reverse. And now why is this 6 swords here in reverse? Next move. Page of Swords. More page energy. Maybe the other one was a King of Swords. I thought I saw a Page of Swords. Okay, what are we going to do? We're going to get the Page of Wands, the backside, and Page of Pentacles. Look at these pages, you guys. Wow. And here we have the bums again. Judgment. Okay. Beautiful people. Let me sit with this energy. What are they going to do here? 10 Pentacles. So we have Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn, Aries energy. Okay, beautiful angels. I don't read bottom of the deck reverse. Generally, these cards are a little wonky-tonk here. Your person's in the middle of a process right now of realization, of getting clear, rising above, and seeing things for what it is, okay? I feel like this is what this judgment is, and I feel like everything that's sort of transpired and happened in a way that's created what it created, okay? And so I feel like there's a big emphasis here with the knot, you know, and this 10 Pentacles and this Queen Pentacles of you being able to rely and depend on committing and growing something substantial here with this person for the long term. It's been uncertain and unclear, and at this crossroads, unmovable. This person turned their back on you and they haven't taken action because of their own limitation, which they're seeing. They're seeing that they created a limitation here, okay? They're having to close this out. They're in the process of closing this out because in order to make way anew for this connection, they have to close out what's not working in their world. And so they're still there dealing with their circumstances. You know, they're not quite sure or seeing how they can, you know, take action at this point in time, but they know things have been very stuck and they haven't been able to manifest. This person has a strong passion, desire to deal with what they need to deal with, but their back is here, which means they're looking at everything that's sort of transpired. They're not looking forwards. They're not coming forwards to you, although I see a lot of pages, which I do feel this person will at some point communicate to you only when they close the chapter. Okay, which they're doing. Major Arcana. Okay, but I feel like they're still in the past because I feel like this person did something here because of certain mirror to them that they're needing to close out or deal with in their own world that created a limitation, that created the reason why they couldn't be clear, or why they had to turn their back on you, or why they were incapable of manifesting, or why they were not stepping forward. You know, it's like I had all the ability to step forward and to make shit happen here, and I turned my back. There was no reason why. And so maybe up until now, they made a bunch of excuses or validated why they couldn't. But I feel like they're seeing the 8 swords, the limitation that they created was telling themselves they couldn't. And now they're saying, I could have all along. I could have done this, that, and the other, committed, dealt with the situation, stepped up, but all I did was I turned my back. And so now I'm dealing with what that feels like. And when I peel it back, I'm understanding that I need to close out why it was that I turned my back, why it was that I limited myself and I didn't feel empowered to take the appropriate action, why I chose to sort of, stay in a situation of sabotage, and instead of allowing myself to get out of it, I stayed in the confusion. I wasn't clear. I wasn't certain. I don't understand this. They don't understand it. All they know is that things are blocked and I couldn't manifest, but I don't still understand and see deeper to that. So I can't close it out, So I think when it comes to you, this person understands what happened with you. Very clear with the Judgment and the Upright. I didn't do what I was supposed to, all the things that transpired, I 5 swords you, and all those things we read. But what they don't understand fully is deeper to that, why it was that they were limited and where that originated from and why it was that they were 2 swords to begin with, that they could have taken action and they did not. So it's like the deeper subconscious here, which is what they were trying to avoid. If you go watch pile 1, because there's a 3 swords that needs to be dealt with in the subconscious before you came along. And it's like, I can't just magically snap my fingers and now be empowered to take action here. There's something I'm now aware of, but I don't fully understand it or see it. But it drove me to do what I did, and it created a limitation here. And now I need to rise above this, really understand it or sit with it or understand it. And that's what they're doing. Like I'm fired up to understand it because I want to rise like this phoenix, because there's a fire and a passion towards pile 2 to make things right. But I can't just snap my fingers and be in that energy until I close out to the reason why I couldn't in the first place. So they're amidst this process, why I couldn't commit. And for a lot of you guys, it was a dependency on some sort of structure in their world. It was the tower, and it's like, I don't know, my tower depended on me, or this situation depended on me, or I don't know, there was someone dependent on me, or I was dependent on it. And so it didn't allow me to be clear to you, and so all I created was uncertainty, and it was stemmed from fears. So now I need to close that out. Okay, so what will they do? They're driven by passion to be reborn with a new understanding that they're still working through, that they don't quite see why it was that the stemming of why they did what they did here. Okay, and so now we're going to look at some guidance and some advice for you. Pile number 2. I don't know, my readings are very long here, but I always feel like Spirit wants me to deliver it exactly as it's coming through, So, beautiful angels, let's see, guidance for you. Okay, so for the viewer, Spirit, for the viewer here, I don't know if the pile's flipped or reversed, but let's take a look at guidance and advice for the viewer. What are they being called to do then? I feel some of you guys, like I said, might have, I don't know, like had no choice but to move on. Maybe you're just kind of sitting there with the 2 swords energy, but I feel like some of you guys are in your unconditional love space. And there's a quote pulling through right now, and I don't know the exact verbiage, but it is pulling through here as the energy, okay? And maybe you're learning this or needing to understand this sort of thing. And so, devotion, unconditional love that one gives to either a presence or an entity in the sky, or not in the sky, like a God entity. And it's one energy here that you can devote to either somebody who is worthy or unworthy, but nonetheless, the devotion of the unconditional love to whatever it might be is the liberation and the freedom. And so through that love, unconditional love, whether someone is worthy or unworthy, whether they're godlike or not, whether they're in the sky or not, okay, is the liberation and the freedom of understanding what it is to devote yourself to unconditional love and free oneself. So, this is kind of what's pulling through here, because love is showing you something here, and we're all worthy of love, but I don't know. I think that's a Rumi quote that I butchered, but the essence, is, can we be loving and devotional to any situation to the point that we are liberated and free? completely giving of ourselves in a way here that allows ourselves to, be free. Awareness. I open my consciousness to my true self. I understand that I am here to grow, to free myself from conflict, and to discover who I really am. Today I release illusion and the limitations of the material world in order to alleviate my being towards the eternal light. I grow stronger and stronger as I explore the wonderful being that I am. This kind of goes hand in hand with what I was talking about. So we break free from illusion through love and devotion. Okay? Like we have to surrender to that point where the love sort of turns into this awareness. And so we're no longer an independent, separate entity. And what it is we're devoted to and that we love, we become one with. It's absolutely beautiful. And this we feel free. And then we're very aware and connected to God energy, to the light being the Christ light in us. And so we can explore this and we're free of illusion. And the illusion is that we're separate. The illusion is that this person might be worthy, not worthy. They did this, they did that. Like that's all egoic nonsense illusion. So when I'm aware, when I'm conscious, when I'm connected to my light, my divinity, it releases me from bondage, releases me from my egoic belief that I am separate or that I can only give a certain amount of whatever comes back. But this is true awareness of my divinity, that I am a being that can be devoted and show unconditional love until I am free. Okay, so everything changes. A soft light radiates from my heart. It illuminates those around me and transforms every situation I encounter. I maintain a positive attitude in spite of any difficulties I may perceive. No matter the circumstances, I remain a source of true joy. Everything changes when it is bathed in the light of the divine. This came out for pile 1. I'm just going to see the dog is acting crazy. Give me a sec. Sorry, guys. She's crazy. So, yeah, pile 1 got this. Okay, everything changes. And so we could get stuck in negative mind speak or our perception of reality. What's not working, other people sabotaging, drama, blah, 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 or we rise above, which this person was seeing is rising above some sort of drama here in order to commit. And so maybe we've been really trying to be unconditionally loving, but when we're unconditionally loving, it isn't even a trying when we kind of cross the threshold. And the threshold is when I devote myself and I'm unconditionally loving, I become one with that in which I love. I become that in which I am devoting myself to, where I cannot differentiate between me and that in which I love, just like we would commit and devote ourselves to God. God acts through me, and so this is what I'm really picking up from this pile. It's like learning to walk this journey towards enlightenment, to commit ourselves to the light being that we are and having full awareness of what it means to love and be devoted, to a situation that isn't easy, especially if we're having to go through experiencing this, but your person sees you someone here with a gold heart. Gold, like, top-notch love here that you're providing to the situation, although maybe it's been very painful, and it shouldn't have to be painful once we develop a full awareness that the only reason why we're in pain is if we're in some illusion. We perceive something to be in a certain way, and so it casts pain to us, how attached are we? Identifying to some level of commitment here can create pain. If we're devoted and unconditionally loving and have awareness that we are whole beings, complete in 9 pentacles, and we don't need anyone to prove anything, then we allow things to change and flow naturally, organically, and now we're connected to the divine light in that. Courage. Wow, this came out for pile 1 as well. I am stronger than fear and bigger than doubt. I am light and I remain light. I trust in God and I stand tall before the tests of life. I grow and become wiser through every challenge. I am a being of new life. You and your person are mirroring each other. I do feel this came out for 1. Maybe not. I don't know. Maybe not. No, I think it was red. Okay, well, either which way, this is facing the challenge, and really the challenge is, can I surrender? Can I completely devote myself, and trust in God, which God is unconditional love, and stand before any challenge in that energy and trust that the best outcome is going to unfold here. And this is the new being that I'm rising. This is kind of reminding me of a phoenix. I'm rising into this energy. Attention. I am attentive to all that manifests within me. When negativity arises within me, I transform it into light, love, and hope. My love for others is unconditional. I forgive. My desire to improve is constant. I am firm, brave, and hardworking. Brave. So what does this mean? Those of you guys who resonate with you being defensive or guarded, like, you can do what you'd like, okay? Someone was 5 swords, so we could stay in that special type of conditional love, or we can do what it is we're being asked to do, which is connect to the divine being, forgive, and lean into unconditional love. To find the divinity within ourselves, we must give it outwards, okay? We cannot find what we seek if we're incapable of, like, shining it from within. So you give it from within, and then it comes towards you. So we're learning about unconditional love and forgiveness. Okay, and so we might have negativity, which means we're getting back into mind story and illusion. Start telling ourselves certain things, looking at the 5 swords from more of an egoic standpoint, separation, rather than from a place of oneness and unconditional love. Surrender to your intuition. Tune into your inner voice. Be aware of any gut feelings, flashes, knowings, or aha moments that come through to guide you. So intuition does not come from fear or any sort of filter that is twisted or skewed, okay? Because the intuition comes straight from the heart, from the divine, and it's always pure and clear. So I feel like when we start feeling, like any negative energy, and I say negative, okay, any sadness or separation or lack or lonely or fear or need to control, jealousy, envy, all of those sort of emotions, that means it's not the intuition. We're back into ego, okay? And so we have to keep clearing the noise. We clear the noise by leaning into the heart space, seeing what is true. Is this the truth of God? Is this the truth of unconditional love? What would love do right here, right now? That's the intuition. The intuition never comes through as, I'm going to do this to get that. It's not self-fulfilling or self-seeking. It is always guiding you in a way here that is leaning into the truth of the matter, okay? Like the truth with the capital T, not your perceived fear, okay? Surrender stress. Take deep breaths and exhale the tension you've built up in your body. Let the stress go as you come back to your center. So a lot of you guys are this penguin. Your person sees it, as someone who's been selfless, who might need support. And it's like, we only feel we need support when we feel we need support. If we understand the divinity within us, we know we're already supported by the divine. We know we're whole and complete. Nobody can take anything away from us. We are a strong being of light who stands strong in unconditional love. We're free, like beautiful. Like, look at this body language. 2 complete different packs here. Surrender to the divine. And I give of myself, not expecting anything in return. I am pure, and I am free, and I am strong, and I am one with the divine. And I rise above the confusion of this situation by giving of myself completely, totally surrendering. This is how we surrender the stress. But when I start to doubt and fear and listen to my thoughts rather than my intuition, then I start to create the stress. Okay, so we might be falling back in that. So Spirit really wants you to lean into the love and the forgiveness here, okay? You can do what you want, and forgiveness doesn't mean I allow this person to treat me like crap. It means I am committed to understanding what it means to love unconditionally and accept people as they are, whether they are in trauma, whether they are in suffering, whether they are at their full potential, whatever. It doesn't matter. They are where they're at, and I can meet them where they're at with compassion, with love, with understanding, and knowing it doesn't take anything away from me and my divinity. I am one with the divine, once we connect. Okay, we connect so much that we become what it is we're devoted to and committed to. Okay, then the intuition is very clear, and the fear doesn't get all in there. Okay, beautiful pile 2, that's your reading. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, beautiful pile number 3. You guys picked the wooden lion. absolutely beautiful love lions. So this remind me of my person. Let's take a look at the energy here in regards to the person you came here about, and how is this person on your mind seeing you or this connection? Okay, this is coming from their point of view, so it's definitely subjective here, and it may or may not resonate with your truth. Okay, and then we'll take a look at some guidance and advice in this situation and what you're being called to do. Okay, so if this is flipped, this will sound a lot more like how you see your person. And so if that's the case, you can go check out another pile. Okay, so let's take a look. And we have 31 with intuitive heart. Step into your true destiny. Wow, so 31 is the number 4. 4 is Emperor energy, which is divine masculine, all about structure, foundations, intuitive heart. And so we have Frog, take the leap. Frog is about healing. It's about emotions and clearing certain distortions in our emotions, potentially releasing certain things. Okay, Cosmic Egg. So Cosmic Egg is special in this pack. You know, it's about connecting to our divinity here. Here you see the serpent, which could be shedding of the old in order to be reborn here. It's kind of like a spiritual awakening of sorts. So this is shedding the old. Long distance, foreign themes and distance. We see a ship in the background. Ship's all about movement. Some of you guys might be at a long distance geographically, or just there is space between you and this person. Could be a separation at this time. For some of you guys who might resonate with that. Gossip. Light attributes awakens consideration for the feelings of others, honoring trust, and then the shadow attribute thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. Okay, and then we have storyteller. Interesting, gossip and storyteller. Light attributes, ability to experience and express life through stories and symbols. Shadow attribute, making up tales that harm others. Okay, and we have power, so more serpent energy. This is like a starburst. I'm getting Emperor energy from this. Again, Aries. And we have self-care, so the healing pulling through here. And then we have Vase, devastation, loss, and recovery. So a vessel that's dissolved or exploded in some way. So the vessel could represent the body, you know, the material. It's like a catalyst to explode the material conceived perception of something here in order to tap into something more real, like the spiritual. The Sentinel, determination and certainty. Yeah, so we have a shield and then 2 swords. So we could be at a crossroads, needing to choose certainty, to be clear which path. We have the Mallard. So Mallard could be talking about dreams here. I'm getting divine masculine as well with this one. But yeah, the dream state, or a knowing here. And we have a dreamer. Oh my goodness, you guys. I do not look at these before I pull them. So, and I'm seeing the spears, you know. The spears, these spears are pointing backwards. So there's a need to maybe take action. Maybe something's in dream state or in some sort of fantasy here. The runner. Runner in a codependent relationship, fear of intimacy and listening to ego. Yeah, okay. So Kairos, sorry. And this is 76. So 76 is the number 13, which is transformation, completion, ends of cycle. But the Kairos is like divine timing, acting in the present moment, knowing when to say and do what we need to do, but we have to be very aware and awakened and present in the moment. And look at all the scales here, and scales with the snake. So I'm getting lizard energy, which lizards are all about the dream state, you know, but lizards also shed the old and they regenerate. So we're regenerating something here. We have 13 again. Well, again, yeah, because we had transformation, and 13 is the death card in the tarot. So it says the ruler. So Scorpio energy pulling through. So the ruler, sometimes you must create and defend boundaries to protect yourself from the invasive or other inappropriate behaviors of others. Okay, and then we have dissolution, which we were really feeling here. 65, which is number 11. 11 is a master number, divine inspiration, synchronicity, and the encouragement to keep going. Okay, beautiful people. I'm going to tap into this energy, and then we'll pull some tarot, and then we will also get guidance at the end. So you can click straight away to the main channeling here as I sit with this energy. Okay, beautiful people, I can only read this in one way, okay? Take it as you will. I feel like it's a message to you, really, okay? Whether your person sees you in this way, probably, I don't know, you know, but I feel like it's a message to you in regards to your energy. Maybe it's a message to your person and their energy, okay? However it is, but it's really strong and very clear here. What's happening to this person that I feel, I'm going to read it as you. There's a dissolution of the matrix self, the egoic self, the self that is listening to a construct or belief or a story or an attachment that has kept this person sort of small, living small. Okay, and so the connection that you've come here about could be one in dream state, you know, or could be something that you hope for a better day or for something. But there's a need to flow with the process here. And the process here is all about healing, shedding the false self. And I feel like this connection might have been a catalyst here to wake you up spiritually. Okay, to shed the false self or the understanding we have. And so the person you're tied to could be running or at a distance from you or not happening right now. And Spirit's really saying it's happening like this for more a divine reason. That when things should happen, they will happen. And don't you worry about it. And you'll know when it's time to take action. But we can't take action or get involved or come together or do anything like this, even though maybe the fantasy's strong or the understanding of something, because this could be like a distractive sort of energy here. We need to deal with facing what we're being challenged with facing, which is all about self-healing, releasing the parts of self here that are integrated into who we think we are, so that we can make way for the new self. The new self is the self that can take action in a connection here that may come together once the false self falls away. So we're believing stories about who we are and what we need to do. Okay, and so the ego is running the show, the conditioning, the programming, the false self, the person we think we need to be. So we might be telling ourselves that this connection's this, that, and the other, or that I'm in a situation that's this, that, and the other, or whatever it is. And Spirit is saying that this is everything that the mind is coming up with or concocting needs to be dissolved in order for there to be movement. So we're still descending, sometimes we need to descend before we ascend. And so I feel like the false self is still sort of falling away so that we can know what we're dealing with, so that we can be very awake and aware and take action. So right now is a period of feeling left out, maybe feeling abandoned, feeling like we're not getting the love, the emotions, the care from the person, you know, and maybe we're not in a way here that is really done specifically and purposefully for there to be shedding of what we need to. Okay, we have to heal self. We have to let go of things and release things that create pain and suffering. And so the intuition is opening up. We have to be able to listen to the intuition that will guide us. There's something very destined about this lesson. Okay, we know because of the intensity of this journey and this shift and this catalyst and waking us up to our divinity. And so there's a spiritual awakening here, and it comes with the heaviness of our intuition and dreams. Signs, symbols, synchronicities, things that we're connected to in the dream state that's telling us all sorts of things. And so it seems unreal. but it's really waking us up in order to make change, in order for us to shed what doesn't serve us. So there's a lot of blocks in the root chakra, which is not feeling safe, and addictions such as unhealthy patterns, okay, addictive behaviors, unhealthy behaviors, ways we identify. That's all root chakra stuff. So we need to be very aware. What are we saying and doing? Are they very behavioral? Are they conditioned things? And so as we start to strip that away, the big ones, we're left with the softer ones that still dictate our actions. And so I feel like there's a lot of ego still remaining here. And the ego is just the conditioned self, the self that thinks it's running the show here, and it is running the show here, but it perpetuates a state of illusion. It perpetuates a state of the false self staying in whatever attachment it has right now, okay? And so we need to resolve what the past is really coming through. And when I say resolve, it's really dissolve the past. Dissolve who we think we are. Dissolve the story of who we tell ourselves we need to be or who we are. We're none of those things. Every present moment is a new version of you that has nothing to do with the past. There's nothing to do with how you identified or what you identify as or who you identify as. Okay, and when we get there, we know we're awakened. And so only when we're in an awakened state, then can things sort of come together here. And why it's not happening is because we're not there yet. And so your person runs, or this connection is at a distance future here, or just at a distance. So your journey of going through this understanding is what's moving you towards this person and towards union and towards getting clear. The more healing we do in self-care. So right now, am I addicted to social media? Am I addicted to my sob story? Am I addicted to an unhealthy relationship or connection? Am I saying that I have no choice and I've surrendered to the divine? Meanwhile, I'm still doing and behaving in certain ways. And so to trust the divine is to take action towards what is more in line with us. Okay? But it doesn't necessarily make logical sense. It's just listening to the intuition. So once we're at the point where we can take action, listening to the intuition, not the mind, not saying who's going to pay for this or I've already done that, okay? Because that's all 8 swords type stuff. This is complete surrender to the divine through listening to the intuition and the dreams. Okay? So we're still resolving something in the past here. Okay, and I don't think we have crystal clear vision yet. I think we're still seeing as us being apart from this person as something that's withholding, like I'm withheld from this person, or they're still running, but it's like, no, you're the one that's still sort of running. If your person isn't in union with you, if your person isn't present with you, if there's distance between you and your person, if it's not working, it has nothing to do with what this person needs to do at all. It has solely to do with you. You need to look at your self-speak, and you need to look at your situation, which is the past version of you that's conditioned, that needs healing, that needs to be released, that you need to surrender, that you need to be very, very, very aware of. Are you healing self for your greatest, highest version of self by shedding the egoic construct of who you think you are? So if we identify with the body, we still believe in separation. Okay, and the body does this through way of you identifying with your ego. So now you think you're the body. Okay, and this means it's very stuck to the material realm. I live in this house. I do this, that, and the other. This is a sense of I. That's all egoic. You are the being, you're the essence of the awareness itself. There is no one stuck to anything. There is no I. Okay, little I here. So if you think you're the I, as long as you think you're the I, you're in separation consciousness. And this whole journey, this whole experience is for you to release, shed the sense of I, the egoic self, the belief that I am the body, I am the vessel, and to discover the light that is really there, which is your true being. But we must dissolve the part that isn't us. And so there's unhealthy connections, I feel, relationships in your world, and we're in relationship to everything and everyone. So relationship to where I live, I'm in a relationship to people, I'm in a relationship to food, I'm in a relationship to social media or my work. And I think we're upkeeping some sort of story to ourselves that we need to do it, or this is how it is, or God's guiding me here so far. And it's no, none of that. Okay, I mean, God is guiding, but in this reading that I'm doing, God is showing, okay, your divine being that's coming through here, communicating, is showing that you're tied to that storyline as something that is coming through you as the divine, and it's not. It's being created by your own construct that needs to be shattered, or else we won't have movement. And so you're stuck here. You're still in the past. Okay, we need to be very aware. And so what does our self speak? Are we saying, oh, I don't have, or I'm at the mercy of, or I'm being withheld from, or I'm not enjoying or connecting to, or I haven't found? Like, any of that is lack, and all of that doesn't exist. That's all a construct of scarcity mindset, saying that the divine has a limitation, and the limitation isn't there. It's just a construct of our belief. It's an illusion. That's what needs to shed. That's what we need to look at. And it's not just going to fall away on its own. We have to be consciously very aware and involved in that process. Okay, you have to be very involved in this process. What am I saying? What am I doing? Am I just acting out of habit here? It's saying that that's a part of the thing, and there's a good reason why I'm doing this or why I need to do that. No, we got to be very, very, very present with why we're doing what we're doing, how we're doing it, and really, really dive into that so that we can detach from the mind and become awareness itself. Okay, now this doesn't mean you have to stop doing everything you're doing all at once. This just means I've made space to be very present and aware of what I'm doing, how I'm doing it. I'm observing this, and now I can see through the false self, so I can shatter what is not real. I am none of these things that I've told myself or that I'm engaged with here. I'm so close to it. I'm so identified with it that I believe I'm the body. And so therefore I'm creating the scarcity mindset. I'm creating the division. I'm creating the separation. And so my intuition wants to pull through. And this is why I'm having crazy dreams. Why I'm seeing, synchronicities like crazy. If you're still seeing synchronicities like crazy, your divine being here is guiding you to take a look at this. It's saying, hey, take a look at this, So you're being handed the keys to the kingdom to do the work. And the work here is really getting you out of whatever state you're in here. So how you'll know this resonates, if you're not in union with your person, if the person you came here about is nowhere to be found, they're running, they're pulled away, they're separate from you, and you feel any sort of desire to attain some like in your practical hands here, this person, then this is your reading. And so we really need to look at the frog energy, okay, which is releasing, dissolving, healing, listening to the intuition, getting very clear with the conscious self. So, Spirit, clear and concise message here for pile number 3. How is it that their person is seeing them? Please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 3. Thank you, spirits, for this message. Okay. So, beautiful angels, let me tap into this energy. We have the Page of Wands, and these are double-sided cards, okay? So there's 4 ways to read this energy. So we're going to read it as it came out. Page of Wands with the backside here. We see the phoenix rising. That's this cosmic egg being reborn, right? But we have to dissolve. We have to burn the false self through the fire. Transmutation of everything that exists in order to completely dissolve our sense of self so we could be reborn here. So we've been catalyzed. The passion we have for this connection is giving us a reason to be reborn here. Okay, Page of Wands. 9 swords. Yeah, Dark Night of the Soul. 9 wands. In the reverse. I need to surrender here. 6 Pentacles in the reverse. 5 Pentacles and 7 Cups. 8 Wands and 7 Swords. Okay, in reverse. So, 7 Swords in reverse. Beautiful people. The biggest lie we have is when we live in illusion. You're in an illusion right now, okay? I think you're in some sort of fantasy. And the fantasy is the story you tell yourself, and it could very well be around this connection. You believe something of this connection that isn't necessarily true, okay? And so we need to cut through this. How do we do this? We need to dissolve every understanding we have. Start from the ground up completely, okay? If there's fear around this, then this means that we haven't completely surrendered. So we need to surrender. That's what we're being asked to do. Release any sort of story. You know, I'm on twin flame journey. This person needs to do work. It will come together when no. Release, release, release. Now, once that's released, we need to release whatever we're telling ourselves in our world of some conditioned identifier that we have. I am a mother. I am a wife. I am this, that, and the other. We're none of those things. Okay, we might be experiencing those things through this vessel. But as we identify with that, then we are telling ourselves we're the body. So there's a need to surrender to the divine. I feel like you're going through a spiritual awakening here, a dark night of the soul, where you're transmuting a lot of your conditioning and your beliefs in order to be reborn as a spiritual being here. This is why you're passionately pulled to this connection, this person, this journey, this ignition to awaken your soul, to bring you to life. Okay, so yes, you are on a journey of sorts. Yes, to wake you up. That is for sure. But everything else, you know, that the journey has to be a path, or that the journey is, I don't know, long, or that we have to uncover certain things, or we need to heal. No, all of that's made up stories. We don't need any of that. Everything already exists right here, right now. Okay, so we're awake. We're awake. And what we're awake to is that everything's a conditioned belief. And that the only thing that's real is reality itself. Okay, and so this is sometimes takes us some time to wrap our mind around it. But if we feel it and understand it, it can dissolve and fall away instantly. But sometimes it's a lengthy process, and it's suffering, and so it's kind of paradoxical. That's how we know it's the divine. Sometimes it takes years and years and years for us to shed the false self, but yet the false self doesn't exist, so it shouldn't take any time at all. If we know it's false, it just falls away. So which is it, right? That's why some spiritual awakenings are instant and some take some time. None is wrong and none is right. We're shedding the false self, lots of anxiety, and the anxiety here is that we're seeing some vision or fantasy of something here that makes us feel in a certain way. And it's not a very good feeling because we feel divided or separate, okay? And so Spirit is saying, allow yourself to surrender, okay? Surrender, surrender, surrender. Because right now we can't give to anything. We can't create anything until we allow ourselves to be in a pure state so that we are open channel for giving and receiving. Right now we can't give and receive because we're still living as the false self. So anything we give will be given from the false self. Anything we try to chase will be out of a desire of the ego. So we can't attain or resist or desire something or resist something because it's not coming from the true self. The true self is stable, centered, grounded. It doesn't desire to attain or seek, and it doesn't resist or fight or run. It is very centered. Okay, only the ego tries to attain something. It's like a pendulum. The ego is a pendulum. It's never satisfied. It's always trying to chase. It always wants the more, better, bigger, stronger, faster. Okay, or it protects and it avoids, denies, suppresses, runs, blocks, resists, fights against. Okay, that's when you know you're an ego. If you're doing any of those things, ego's still there. I need to attain, I need to have, I need to hold, I need to do. No, ego, 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 ego. So what are we doing? We're shedding both sides of the pendulum. We're getting grounded, centered, and we're being reborn here as this phoenix. Okay, because we cannot give to the situation. We cannot receive from the situation. We're still in ego. So 5 Pentacles is a choice of our own. We might not feel it's a choice of our own. We're left out in the cold. Like I said, why don't they love me? Why am I not accepted? Why is it not moving forward? Why can't we integrate? Why am I not loved? That's all 9 swords. Okay, it doesn't exist except for in your mind. You're already one. You're already in union. It already exists. So as long as we're in 5 Pentacles, we're in scarcity mindset, and we're being asked to shed the ego. We're being asked to get out of our 7 cups, which is all this fantasy sort of confusion that we're creating from the ego that keeps us in perpetual state of separation, lack, and scarcity. This is when we have our breakthrough. This is when things start moving forward. When we're honest and we get out of self-sabotage and out of the false self, the stories we're telling ourselves. They're not true. We have to embrace the truth. And the truth is you're a divine light being that has a lot of trauma, just like all of us do, that needs to be released. Okay, and the trauma is not necessarily you're abused or I was hurt in love. It's just as a human, we have ego. Okay, so I know a lot of you might say, yeah, this is my person. Meanwhile, I really feel this is your message, you know, and you're projecting that onto your person. That your person needs all this sort of healing. Meanwhile, it's like, as long as you have ego and you're desiring something, you're knee deep in the ego. If you're desiring this person, if there's a fantasy here of someday having some sort of future with this person here, because you need to attain something or you're driven by this need to have, but you feel separate or you feel lonely or sad or isolated or like depressed or however, then you're in ego. That's the story. And it's very deep. And once you start peeling that back, you'll see there's more egos in there. Okay, so time to focus on self, bring it back to self. If we can't give to this person right now, you know, like in a material way, in a practical way just yet, because they're removed or running or blocked or not in our world, they're in our dream or they're in some fantasy or in there's some understanding, that means you're an ego and there's a reason why you can't give to them right now because of the divine. You still haven't surrendered. Okay, so what does it mean to surrender? It means to burn everything. Burn everything. So as long as we still are, I don't know, doing the same exact thing, saying, well, this, I don't know, making whatever story we're making. Okay, I can't leave my marriage. Well, that is, what do you mean you can't? Like, there is a need to trust yourself if that's something you're needing to do. Okay, because that's pulling through for some of you guys. So let's dive in a little bit deeper here, and then we'll do the guidance. Spiritual, what is this message here? Because I mean, that fully was guidance for pile number 3. What is it pulling through here for pile number 3 in regards to this connection and how this person is seeing them? Oh my goodness, this card came out for all 3 piles so far. The Judgment. Judgment in reverse here, although I don't read bottom of the deck reverse, but for this deck it's so layered that I'm going to leave it like this. Okay, so beautiful people, you want to manifest as above, so below. There's some dream, some fantasy, something in the ethers right now that's very spiritual, intuitively coming through. I don't deny it. Yes, I'm going to validate. You are on some sort of spiritual awakening that you're being possessed with here. So in order to wake you up, to dissolve the ego. That's why Spirit is talking through you. Some of us are very blessed to be awakened to this, okay? You're being called to be awakened to this. Don't fall back into old stories or egoic self. In order to manifest what you want, which is to create with this person and work together, there's a need to have a clear intuition. Right now, we don't have a clear intuition. All we have is an ego telling a story that we keep feeding, and we're stuck here. Okay, and so we're going against what the intuition is actually telling us. We're really not doing what the dreams are saying. It's telling you something in a way of acting in the past that you need to release. You need to put your whole attention, your whole awareness in dealing with releasing something in the past, healing something in the past. You're going against the intuition by not doing this, by staying in fantasy or distracting yourself or telling yourself all sorts of things here. So your dream, your hope, your vision of the future is something you're needing to look at once you deal with whatever you need to in the past. And I feel like Spirit's really showing, like your back is turned to creating the vision of the future for yourself with this person in this situation, as long as you're focused on this person in this situation. You shouldn't be focused on what's supposed to happen in the future. Okay, you're supposed to really be looking at dealing with what has happened in order for you to be free in the right here, right now. Okay, because the only thing that exists is the present moment. But I feel like the past is so interwoven into your identity that the past is pulling you into still believing you're somehow the past here. Okay, and you're projecting into the future. But everywhere you're not is the present moment. Okay, so we're not seeing how we can come together with this person. We're not seeing it happening. Okay, it's not being revealed to you because the intuition is blocked, and you're learning to love from the intuitive spot, which will allow you to get what you want in your vision for the future here with this person. But we need to now address, not to look forward towards the future, and to understand how we're dealing with the present moment. Okay, and so I feel the 7 Cups is your confusion right now. You're kind of confused, you know, and so because we're confused and we're unclear, we lean into what it is we want, or we pray or hope that the future has the vision or the clarity, and Spirit is saying, no, the future is not going to give you any clarity or any certainty here. The certainty is going to come once you deal with your current situation right now, and your current situation is leaving you feeling emotionally unfulfilled. You have to deal with this. You can't just close your eyes and pray and hope that it gets better. Okay, you have to close out something here that I feel you're not wanting to close out, or you haven't closed it out. And so until you close it out, you're not seeing the great truth. Until you end it, okay? And so there isn't a thing such as divine timing to end it. It's saying end it. You're prolonging an ending here. And maybe you're kind of thinking like, I don't know, because you're not seeing some truth here. And so I think what you're thinking is that eventually in the future, there'll be a right time or a right moment. And Spirit's really saying, no, that's the story you're telling yourself. You're keeping yourself in the past, this thing alive. It can end right now. Okay, it can end right now. You have to put an end to that identity, that story, you being stuck in something, or, I don't know, believing you to be something that you're not here. As long as you will have that belief and continue to sort of project into the future, you're going to be in confusion and you're not getting what you want. So we feel unloved by this situation. We feel rejected. We don't feel like this person's coming forward, Spirit's saying, because we're really attached with the body. We're really attached with separation consciousness. We're really not dealing with what we need to, which is dissolving the egoic self, the illusion, so that we can create something and work with something. We need to accept and embrace some greater truth so we can ascend and become enlightened and see things from a higher level of consciousness here. Okay, so you're ascending consciousness, but we can only ascend once we descend, once we dissolve the ego. We can only be reborn once we shed the old, clear, release, surrender. Okay, then the intuition is clear. Then we can manifest. But right now we're trying to manifest into the future from the false self, from some desire of the ego. Okay, but we can't. So that's why the magician has its back turned. We can only manifest once the ego's gone. Then we manifest from the pure self. Yes, we can manifest, but we're not manifesting what we want. We're just manifesting the same of what we have. Confusion, rejection, not coming together. We still haven't ended what we needed to. We're still not ascending and seeing clearly. We're still upkeeping stories, identifying, conditioning. So that's what we keep manifesting. Spirit saying, if you want to manifest what you actually really want with your authentic self for the future, it has to be a flow of the purest intuition pulling through here. But the intuition is blocked, and it's only blocked because the ego still remains. Okay, and this is why we can't create and work together and come together to work with this person. So, beautiful people, I think you really want to. I don't think you're clinging to the ego because you want. I think you don't know. I really think you don't see, you know, but what's getting in your way of not seeing here is, yeah, you're depending on some sort of material way of being, or some story that you're telling yourself that you have to depend on, or that exists that really doesn't. There is no limitation. There's no handicap. There's nothing here that you, I'm done with these cards, that you are stuck to. Okay? If you feel stuck, that's the ego. If you feel like there's nothing you can do, that's the ego. Because there is something you can do. You have to get to that state. I'm so aware that I know that in this present moment, I could do anything because I'm connected to the divine. That there is no limitation. There's no scarcity mindset. So right now we're just looking at with the 4 cups. What we don't have, what isn't. But that's untrue. Everything is. So how can it not be? Okay? Ego. So why are we thinking like this? Because we are conditioned to think like this. That's what we're dissolving. That's a belief, story, system, structure we tell ourselves, or someone's told us, or we were just, that's the human nature, right? Like, I don't know, 8 billion people on this earth, and they're all in sleep mode, living in illusion, believing they're a conditioned body. They're not. And so we're blessed to be awakened. And I feel like you'll know it resonates because your dream symbol synchronicity is being pulled to this connection. Wake up, wake up. Okay, wake up, like catalyst, like exploded here. Okay, but it doesn't mean just sit back here. Now is time for the work. Now is time to look at the egoic self and start to really dissolve that, you know, or else your person keeps running. This connection gets further and further away until we do what we need to do. Okay, and I don't need to, but if you're on this journey, you're going to suffer. We're going to stay in some 7 cups, you know, and manifest more of the stuckness. So, guidance, advice for the viewer. Surrender your addictions. This is really it. Okay, this is the egoic belief. Whether we, you know, I don't know, like people think ego is when we're, I don't know, doing something here that is bad. Okay, well, ego isn't bad, but it's like when we identify with anything, this is the addiction. Whether you're addicted to substances, food, people, sex, or overworking, take action to begin to heal the addiction and replace it with healthier alternatives. So the way you're engaged in your world right now is an addiction. It's unhealthy. You're connected to the identity of who you think you are and your action. Okay, you really need to identify this. So observe, where do I live? Who do I live with? What am I doing? What am I saying? What am I eating? What am I, like, really? Okay, and you might think, ooh, that's so much work. And it's like, it's only a lot of work to undo all these years of conditioning and beliefs. Once you're free, you're free. Once it dissolves, it dissolves. You've transmuted that, you know? You're being called to do this. This is why it's very strong. So there's unhealthy patterns right now. So if you're desiring something, you're chasing, you're trying to attain happiness and fulfillment, you're an ego. It's an addiction. If you're resisting, blocking, running, removing, feeling sad, separate, that's an addiction. You're an ego. Okay, if you're feeling whole, complete, then you know that you've surrendered the ego. Okay? Surrender obsessive thinking. If you're obsessed about a person or a situation, turn the dilemma over to spirit. Doing so will help you clarify or even solve the problem. This is driving this. Once you understand this, you're no longer in obsessive thinking. Okay? The reason it's so obsessive is because divine has woken you up to really take a look at this. Look at your own action here. There's a need to really heal, surrender, cleanse, release what's going on in your world right now. Wake up to that. That's why you're obsessively focused on fantasizing and telling yourself a story about this person and this synchronicity and these dreams and this runner of yours. Okay? Surrender stubbornness. If you're tensing up or taking a rigid stance about something, gently observe yourself and become more yielding. This will help you communicate more lovingly with others and yourself. So the story we tell ourselves, I'm this, I'm that, I'm strong because of this, or I can see it, or this is just one perspective. It's like all perspectives are ego. I'm coming to you with the divine, with this. And this is saying any perspective other than you are one with the divine, you are whole and complete, is a perspective. And so your belief, your story of whatever you're telling yourself, and the more you hang on to it or feel it is true, the more you're sticking to stubbornness. Ego. Ego is showing up as stubbornness through you. Okay? Unity. Today I bring my attention into the present moment where I become one with my inner light. As I make this conscious connection, I find myself centered in my heart and begin to glow with my own divinity. Union with my inner light provides me with a wise, stable base from which I can now live every day of my life. This is totally it, you guys. And this is why I'm so passionate about delivering this, because we're in suffering, trying to chase someone, attain something, an ego, feeling separate, feeling abandoned, feeling lost, feeling obsessive thoughts, and turning over, and all of this stuff. It doesn't need to happen. The only reason it's happening is you're your worst enemy. You are whole and complete. The light is within you. We need to become still. We need to surrender the ego. There's nothing good about it. So if we make any excuse why we need to do and be how we are, we're keeping this up. We're not leaning into this. Okay? That's what you're learning. Love from the heart. Consciousness. Unity consciousness. Achievement. As I advance on the road towards achievement, I discover my greatest strengths and I learn from each challenge. I believe in my truest potential. Today I have faith in my abilities and in myself. I move forward towards the fulfillment of my vision. I reach my objectives. I am courageous. I embrace life. I am always in good company on this journey towards the light. So yeah, this is a journey of ascension, getting closer to the divinity within. Okay, and to get closer within, we have to like literally go and seek within in order for us to ascend upwards. Okay, so I feel like your energy is more on this linear sort of, you're seeing it as a linear journey. Meanwhile, the journey is actually upwards, closer to the divine. Okay, but it's actually, we dissolve first before we can climb. We can't start climbing on the false self. So we dissolve what's not real so we can ascend to the true light being. And what's not real is this unhealthy ways of attaching, thinking, believing stories, okay? So being in the present moment and observing and making space between us and what we're doing, saying, and the identity we created and the stories we're upkeeping. Balance. I find balance between each sphere of my life. I am the master of my daily life. I make time to nourish the spiritual and physical. I bring love to my world by fulfilling the needs of my body and soul. So I feel like we are leaning towards the 3D a lot, the body, separation consciousness. We might be focused on the body, thinking we are the body, and Spirit is saying we need to find balance in the spiritual world. So we're leaning into the intuition, the dreams, the more woo-woo stuff that's out there, but that's the spiritual divinity trying to wake you up, because we're more than just the body. So we can't just, keep leaning into the physical, leaning into the mind, leaning into what we know or what we read or what we feel. It's like, no, we got to really tap into the divine here, the divine light. Even if there is no real in conceptual knowledge, there's a intuitive knowledge and understanding. That's how we find balance between our spiritual self and the vessel in which we're inhibiting in order to be in the present moment, so that once we're in balance, then we can deal with the balance situation here. But you're really being called to ascend before you can do anything in your situation. Unconditional love. My heart is free from resentment towards others. I open the eyes of my heart and discover the light and beauty in every being. I am aware that suffering causes disease and hurt people. I see the pure child in everyone and practice forgiveness. So what's this all about? You're being called to dissolve the ego in order for you to learn about unconditional love. First, unconditional love of self and the divine. And the best way to do that is to devote ourselves unconditionally loving to someone. So I think someone's woken you up to have unconditional love towards them. Whether they're unworthy, undeserving, or doing it, or removed, it doesn't matter. It's the lesson of unconditional love that we're doing. Okay? And so love is driving us. This devotional, unconditional love drives us to dissolve a whole bunch of illusion that we are separate, that we can only love if we're being shown something, and this conditional love, the way most people are stuck in egoic love or fear-based love. No. Okay, we're learning to transcend past fear-based love to tap into unconditional love. Love doesn't ask for anything in return. Love isn't trying to chase or attain or have some sort of outcome. It just allows things to be as it is. It sheds the false. It seeks for only the truth, and the truth shines through. But the truth doesn't need defending. The truth doesn't need to be carried. The truth doesn't need defending. Okay? The truth stands on its own. So if you need to defend, or if you need to create a story or support it, that's a false illusion. So this is why it's happening. You're being woken up to unconditional love so that you can see the divinity within you. You can become one with the divine creator here. That's where you're being led to, okay, enlightened. And once this happens, once we're in union with self and balance, and we know that we are one with the creator and ascended, and we've shed all this, then we can make sense of what's going on here in the material world with this person. But this is why it's happening, okay? So they're separate for a reason. We're on a journey for a reason, okay? Remember, you can transcend past all of this once we grasp this understanding. You can watch this reading again, okay? Pile number 3, that's your reading. I'll see you at the next one. Bye-bye. Hello, gorgeous angels. Pile number 4, you guys picked the lotus flower, yellow flower, beautiful. Let's take a look at the person on your mind, person you came here about, and how are they seeing your connection or seeing you, okay? So it could come flip, meaning this is how you see your person. And if that's the case, then you can go and check out another pile. Don't force it to fit. Okay, it should be something that resonates with the overall energy of the connection. So we'll also be getting some guidance and advice for your current situation. Let's take a look. So we have 24, hungry heart, awaken the true song of your heart. Wow. So 2 people here. And we have stork, receive blessings and gifts. 2 storks, 2 people. Storks deliver messages. New beginnings, stingray, 2 stingrays, discover peace and calm. Wow, everything coming in 2. So 2's about balance, duality, choices. So you have the bat, air energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So navigating, using the intuition. Union, look at the 2 rings. Wow, balance, coming together. I just heard eternity. Wow, eternity through the heart. So we have engineer, light attributes, ability to create, to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Shadow attribute, reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. So very mind here. The air energy is very mind as well. So monk nun, light attributes, selfless devotion and single-minded dedication to spirit. Shadow attributes, negative judgment of the physical world, excessive piety. Wow. And we have love. Oh my goodness, 2 roses. So romantic love. There's the heart again. Very similar. The artwork on that heart. Looks like a child drew a heart. So innocent love. There's tears falling here. So maybe something sad. We see bracelets. So it could be something maybe in bondage here, or feeling maybe tied in some way. Okay, we have support. 7 cups. So 7 cups could be talking about confusion. So the snake is all about healing, wisdom, support, feeling supported. Okay, and then we have locket, commitment, loved ones, partnership. Wow, union, serious relationship, marriage, partnership, locket, commitment, loved ones, and partnership. Wow, that's strong. And then we have the shepherd, celebration, family. So this is giving me 4 wands energy with the celebration family. 4 wands is my 1111, which could signify a twin flame connection if you resonate. We have porcupine. So porcupine in this pack talks about our ancestors, our upbringing, you know, but porcupines could be quite defensive with their needles, their quills. And we have the wolf. So wolf could be wanting to protect the pack, but also very independent. Wolf, lone wolf. Wow. Okay. A fighter. Not today. Not dealing, hurt, avoiding a conversation, call, person, boundaries, and still angry. Okay. And then we have the mountain. So the obstacle, and then we're getting through it. But also, are we from a point of view where we can take an honest look at the obstacle from a higher elevated perspective? 33 is a master number, and that's about reproduction, creativity, humor, Christ consciousness, joy, and it's also about harmony. Some sort of obstacle here. 48, the game changer. Wow. Isn't that interesting? So that's the number 12. And 12 is hangman energy, changing your perspective. So the game changer, how confident you feel about magic and change, especially your ability to magically change yourself and your situation is crucial. And mystical sister, and this is ascending, and the butterfly is talking about transformation, but liberation. The mystical sister is being supported by someone in order to ascend, you know, or be shown the way in some way, but we feel supported or led or inspired. I'm also getting, again, twin flame I got with the 1111, you know, maybe being led by the divine feminine here. Okay, you guys, this message is quite very strong and very clear. I'm going to grab a wand, and then you guys can go click on the channeled message, and then we'll pull some tarot as well. Beautiful people. Wow, 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 and so much wow, wow, wow. So much wow, wow, wow. I don't even know where to begin. Your person, they're hungry for this connection. I feel you're definitely their other half, you know? And but I feel like this person is just completely almost in a state here of disbelief at how well you guys complement each other here. I feel like your person sees you as a complete blessing and a gift. And they've been fairly blind, I feel, here in this connection potentially, you know, because I feel like this person might have been somebody who's very in their mind or very logical or just not really tapped into higher levels of spirit or the divine or anything here. But I feel like this connection has allowed them to connect to something very deep, you know, and really surrender. I feel like maybe it's been a long time coming for this person to surrender and to be guided, you know, guided by their intuition or even guided by you. This person could feel very inspired to make change and transform because at one point this person might have had a big obstacle in their world of why they couldn't connect with you or couldn't move past something. And so I think this person is getting a new perspective on how they view themselves or this connection or how they can move through a challenge in their world that was very fixed, that might have been preventing you guys from coming together or from this person to change or ascend. And so this person is now seeing things differently, or at least inspired to change or inspired to, I don't know, like free themselves, to be free, you know, and maybe they've been very prickly or defensive. But I feel like there's a lot of ancestral conditioning or energies here that this person's had to overcome, which could have been this obstacle, you know, like a way of being or some sort of ancestral thing that they needed to overcome or understanding of conditioning, you know, that was keeping them defensive towards this connection. Maybe it was like, I need to be independent or I need to have some sort of energy that protects my family or some, I don't know, there's some independent wildness when it comes to this person is very ferocious. But I feel like this person's had a change of mind or is changing in how they perceive things from a more free point of view that's more ascended. Because at some point in time, I feel this person might have had strong boundaries and might have not have been invested or might have been showing that they weren't capable or interested or available or fighting for moving towards, you know, a greater truth here. So I feel like this person feels like you inspire them, support them, lead them, guide them. Despite something, I feel this person might be overcoming here. Okay, there's a lot of love here, and they feel is very reciprocated. Like they see your love and they feel your love. This person does feel like you're junior in some way. Like maybe your love is bigger, or maybe you're, you know, like even in the rings, like the bigger stork, the bigger rose, the bigger ring. It's like you're the bigger person. You're the one leading, or you're the one who is more tapped into some knowing, or you lead with your heart more than your mind, or there's something here that you're doing that's right. And I'm observing with my independent self here this being of yours that brings me great peace, calm, love, and I'm hungry to be in your presence. So I've been awakened by the truth of my heart. I've been awakened by your love. I've been awakened to this thing within me that has been dormant or asleep or stuck or blocked. And so I want to create with you, come together. I celebrate the beauty, you know, and I want to commit to you and I want to come together with you. I want a partnership with you. I want to be giving to you in a way here that shows you my appreciation, that I want to receive your blessing, that you are a gift, you know, and I want to discover with you. And I feel this person wants to protect and build with you. And I feel this person wants to get through any challenge in their world or any challenges you guys might be going through right now, getting in the way, or I don't know, this person, if they have used you to change or shift or see something different or rise above a situation they've had to heal from or release or shed. And I feel like you've been an open sort of giver of emotions and support to this person, despite maybe many tears or a lot of confusion, delivering blessings and gifts and love. Yeah, I feel like this person has a blind trust and faith in who you are, and your selfless devotion to them in this connection. And that you're very dedicated here to them and to this connection. And so I don't know, like I feel like this person has had a difficult time sort of trusting themselves, not necessarily you, like trusting themselves to listen to their intuition, to kind of go blind, to get through certain things that have been fixed and stuck for some time. Without your support and your understanding or your giving of self, it might have been difficult for this person to work through healing or releasing or shedding. But yeah, eternal. I feel like this person feels eternally connected to you, like an eternal love, a forever thing here that they want to commit to. I feel like this person also wants to give you something with this locket, or could have given you maybe a gift, maybe a necklace or a locket or a piece of jewelry, or a token of their appreciation, or this is what they want to give to you or show to you in some way here. I feel like this person feels almost like they are, I don't know, like they want to protect you, or they're in some sort of protector energy around your energy field here. Wow, okay, so let's pull some tarot and see if we can get a deeper layer here in regards to this person and how they see this connection and how they see you. Pile number 4. So these cards are double-sided, so there's like 4 ways we can literally read these cards. Okay, so I'm going to sort of read them as they come out, and we're going to ask Spirit for a clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. A beautiful pile number 4, Spirit. How's pile 4's person on their mind? Seeing pile number 4 or this connection, please protect me and the viewer as I channel this message for the greatest and highest good of pile number 4. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, pile 4, for allowing me to tap into your energy, the energy around you at this time. I'm truly blessed. So we have the Death card in reverse. We have the 2 swords in reverse. Wow. We have the Ace of Cups. We have the Chariot, the back side of the Chariot. We have 5 cups. We have 7 pentacles in reverse. And then we have the Ace of Wands in reverse. We have 10 wands. And we have the Hermit, the back side of the Hermit in reverse. Okay. So this heaviness, I feel, is this mountain. There's a burden here that had to be carried. And I feel like either it's behind you guys, or this person feels like you have their back in regards to carrying some sort of burden. Okay, like there's a lot of back here. So it's like, I don't know, there's something behind you guys. Like the burden's behind you guys in some way. But I feel like there's still a transformation that's happening, or has been in the process of happening, releasing the past, changing the ways we think, releasing certain things that aren't helping things move forward. And so I feel like this person is looking at the past as something that maybe was stuck, or their inability to move in this direction has been something that they've had to sit with and mourn. Here's more roses could be significant in this connection, but it's like about romance and love. And so here's the Black Hood. It's like mourning and looking at the past. So the past here was something that this person feels like, I don't know, was something sad, an inability to move, but it's something behind them. So there's a new beginning here. And I feel like this new beginning is something that still needs to take place, but that your person is seeing as a potential for there to be an emotional new beginning from a time in which has been very heavy, where this person might have not have put the energy or the effort, or just gave up on you or this connection, or turned their back, or didn't invest in some way. They didn't pursue you or follow their passion or follow the clarity because things were unclear, uncertain. because of a lack of an inner understanding or an inner awareness. And it's like, I understand there's an inner awareness that needs to happen. And so I've been very burdened carrying some sort of load here, you know, but I sense there's a new beginning we can have. And there's new love that we can experience here. So let's dive in a little deeper and see what this is about, because I do feel there's a sense of sadness in looking at the past or what you've experienced in the past with this person. You know, but there's also something behind you. Look at High Priestess, so Pisces energy. And that's really what I was getting from this bat. So it's like the intuition, the inner knowing, being guided by the inner understanding of how we feel, connected to the divine. These flew at me. So we have the Ace of Wands in reverse and the Hermit. Now the front side of the Hermit in reverse, Virgo energy. Spirit, can we dive into pile 4 and this connection? How's pile 4's person seeing this connection and seeing pile 4? So we have the Page of Wands in reverse. I feel this person hasn't been able to pursue this connection based on a lack of inner understanding or clarity, or there's been some uncertainty or some sort of transformation, some point of view they've had to transform out of. There's the Star in reverse, Aquarius. It's putting forward the energy and the effort and the dedication and closing out a cycle. All right, 5 Pentacles in reverse, and the card that came out for all 4 piles, which I will cover up, which is the awareness, judgment. So 5 Pentacles in reverse, Judgment in reverse, and the World in reverse. What does this mean? This person is having to transform and close out the past, which I think has been unpleasant. It's this mountain thing that they were being inspired and transforming and changing how they see things. They've been in a lack mindset here, creating all sorts of challenge in this connection. Maybe you felt out in the cold, or they've left you in the cold, but either which way, this seems like it's almost water under the bridge as far as this person is concerned, because I feel this person is understanding a need for them to dedicate and commit themselves, like stay practical, committed, energetically, and show up consistently in order for them to shut something out here that created some sort of disharmony. Because I feel this person has not moved forward or did not act, and it resulted in things being unpleasant. And so I feel like this person feels like the future has not yet been something that they've been able to work towards. Like, if anything, they sort of created a situation here in which maybe you lost hope, or that wouldn't amount to something being created here unless they put forward the actual energy, like put their bum on the seat and get things happening here in a practical way, you know. And so I feel like this person is amidst this, because the Death card in reverse, which is Scorpio energy, by the way, which is a need to release and really transform. They're amidst transformation. And so what I really want is to go towards you, have a new beginning, follow my passions, pursue you. But there's a part of me here that needs to become very clear about the truth of who I am and what I want. And once that is clear, then I can close out the old version of me. You know, I could close that chapter, and I could come out of whatever state we're in order for us to embrace some sort of truth. But until this happens, I want to show you and dedicate and commit myself to this commitment to this situation, so that we can come to a greater level of understanding here. That hasn't quite happened, or I haven't quite taken action on a truth here. So let's see, because I do feel, yeah, there's like some disconnect here, you know, like created by this person's lack of action, or just their inability to believe in something that they're now seeing or understanding. But there's still something missing. So what is it? Maybe the action is missing behind their understanding, because we still have not today. So I feel like this person hasn't yet taken action with all those wands in reverse. Spirit, what am I missing here for pile 4? What is this message about? Pile 4's person. Clear and concise message. in regards to this connection. Pile 4, I'm our person. How's pile 4's person seeing pile 4 and this connection? Can we dive in a little deeper, Spirit? Thank you so much. So, Justice. 8 swords in reverse. Yeah, I was limited. The Lovers. Still have to go down that path and choose this connection. And I was limited. And so I need to bring justice here. 5 swords, getting out of the conflict that I created, the sabotage I created, the pain I created for you. And there's the Queen of Cups in reverse, and there's the 6 Cups in reverse. So what do we have? Let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that. Okay. So, Page of Swords in reverse, Tower in reverse, and 6 Cups in reverse. Strength, Leo, Queen of Cups, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces in reverse, and 10 Swords in reverse. So that's the World in reverse. Okay, this person is still potentially defensive. Not today, the Porcupine, 10 Swords in reverse, World in reverse. They have to close something out. I feel they're held back, or they have been held back predominantly in this connection. And I feel like the Devil is showing here. They're trying to release this Devil. And I feel like that was pulling through with the support card, the healing, releasing of something that they've been leaning on you with the Mountain to support them to release the Devil. And they've been very held back with you and potentially not allowing their passion to pull through or be moved towards this connection because of the unhealthy Devil in their world. Okay, and so as long as the Devil remains here, I can't move towards you and I've been held back. And so this is what I'm closing out or needing to put an end to. I don't quite understand yet or see how I can allow that thing to fully sort of fall away. But I feel like for a lot of you guys, this person's in the process of shedding this tower. So the tower is amidst its falling. Okay, so the false self, the thing I created that's on shaky ground, it's not sustainable. It's falling now. Okay, I can't sustain it. The mask is sort of cracked here. But I don't fully understand it, so I'm sitting with that Hermit in reverse, needing to understand it or gain clarity about this situation so I can really end what I need to end, close the world out. So I'm in the process. That's a Death card in reverse. The process is happening right now. So I am reversed. And so this is something in the past here. A person, place, thing in the past that has me needing to heal from. And so I see you, pile 4, as an option, a lover, a destined path that I can choose once I close this out, which I intend on doing. But while I was in that, I was very limited with how I could show up and give to you. And it wasn't just. And so I'm freeing myself from the limitation because all this did was not allow me to give to you, allow this connection to happen in a balanced way, in a harmonious way. And so I want to be able to give to you. And so I don't know if you've been able to show up for this person and still give love for this person, if they're still in your world, or if you're pulled away, or if there's fear that you might not stick around here. Because the truth of the matter is you might be limited by this person's inability here to do what they need to do. And so it's like I created 5 swords. And your energy here is showing up as this, this person who is slighted by this person's sabotage ways or what they said or didn't do or did to do that wasn't just. And it's like, I want to create justice here. And you've been loving and kind and compassionate. And maybe I've been incapable of showing you and reflecting back to you, which has been the limitation in this connection. And so in order to do this, I have to deal with the thing here that's been the reason why I've been held back. The person, place, thing of the past that keeps me in some sort of state of needing to deal with the false self or the tower that needs to fall. Because without releasing and closing this out, I can't move towards your direction. Okay, so that is the thing I'm freeing myself from. So I can restore some sort of balance and justice and give to you the way you've given to me. Because I haven't shown up. I feel like this person hasn't given you love, or I don't know, hasn't been fair or just when it comes to the Lovers. showing up in the same compassionate way, potentially, but it's all over this reading. It's like, yeah, I'm not as to your size. So it's like, maybe I can't give to you the way you've shown love to me at this point because I'm dealing with something here, you know? Wow, it's pretty intense here. So let's dive into this one more time, and then we'll do the guidance. So Spirit, what is it then that Pile Force person is seeing here in this connection? Can we dive in a little deeper? What am I missing exactly? Something I feel I'm missing here in this connection. Pile number 4's person and how they're seeing this situation. So we have the Fool in reverse. It's Aquarius energy. And we have, yeah, the King of Cups now. So we saw the King and the Queen of Cups is in reverse. Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. 10 Pentacles in reverse. Why is this Fool card in reverse? So we have 9 Wands in reverse. And we have the Sun in reverse. And why is this 10 Pentacles here? 4 Pentacles in reverse. Okay. So we see the Chariot, oops, in reverse, Cancer energy. And then we see 6 Cups in reverse. Okay. What's under that? The King of Wands in reverse. And the backside. Okay. Angels. Your person understands there needs to be balance in this connection. Okay? It's unbalanced right now. You're giving more, you're loving more, you're there, whatever. You're supporting this person, I feel. It's imbalanced. They feel it. Okay? You're the bigger stork. So this is creating an imbalance. They want justice with the Justice card. They want balance. That's how they want it to move forward. It is stuck right now. The harmony and the balance and the connection is stuck when it comes to that. So they're in a place right now that hasn't been able to take action in a way here that can achieve what they want to see because of the past situation that they're dealing with here. They're working on releasing this. Okay, I don't know. It's a structure, the Tower, something that's already solidified, a family situation or their world or something that they're no longer committing to or can commit to. Okay, and I feel like because of this, they haven't been able to commit to this connection or show like their loyalty or dedication or build something with you for the long term. Okay, so I feel like this person has been unavailable, and they recognize that in order for them to take a chance and lean towards this connection, they have to be baggage free and closing out all of this, and they haven't been. Okay, so they're working on surrendering. They're releasing their defensiveness here. I feel like this person doesn't want to shut you out, okay? But I also feel like this person doesn't want to give up. I feel like this person just feels like emotionally here, they've been disconnected and unavailable because of what they've been dealing with here. And I feel like this person is coming to see the light. And I feel like this person is in the process of having clarity, certainty, and I do feel like this person feels a lot of joy from you. But it's like they're not fully diving into the joy and the clarity as long as emotionally they're unavailable or can't express or show this. You know? So they want to show it. They want to engage in this. And they're not confident they could do this as long as they're sort of wrapped up in something they need to let go of. Some structure in their world that is being in the process of being released that keeps them sort of feeling imbalanced or stuck or not capable of moving forward. Yeah, 3 swords in reverse. So I think it's a situation that's over or that has ended potentially, that's created a lot of pain and suffering, or it's them processing this pain as they release, detach, deconstruct, because they can't use all of their confident energy to move towards you and take action in a way that's emotionally available until this is sort of resolved and integrated. You know, then they can jump towards and risk, you know, whatever happens here towards a future and commitment. But right now it's like they haven't done this or shown you because of the process that's happening. Okay, so I feel there's a good intention here towards this connection. There's a clarity of what you mean to this person, and there's also an understanding they have that they've been imbalanced, and the reason things have been challenging, stuck, and not reflective of what they actually want to give. Okay, and that it's been a limitation of an 8 swords that they could have potentially have given, but only when they release, make space, and detach from whatever they were clinging on to or whatever wasn't working in their world. So, Spirit, clear and concise message for the greatest and highest good. And they also feel like you're sort of leading them out of that. So the 4 pentacles in reverse, that's 10 pentacles in reverse. It's like you're leading me, guiding me out of something that I need to shed. You're my support. You're my confidant. You're the one that's leading me out of this. I could see a way with you guiding at the helm here through something, and I might have been very difficult or, you know, like defensive. So what is the guidance for pile number 4 here? Advice, guidance for pile 4. Because it does take a very strong person here to keep the peace and be a blessing and a gift and lead. You know, at least how this person sees you. So what guidance? I'd say keep doing what you're doing is really what it boils down to here. Okay, let's take a look. Surrender to passion. Get out of your own head and feel the fire in your belly. Focus on the people or activities that ignite your passion and let it flow. Yeah, I feel like you're passionate about this person, you know? And I feel like there's a need for you to allow yourself to trust in the divine. If there's passion towards this person, allow yourself to get out of your own head and keep sort of doing what it is that you're doing here, because I feel you're leading something in regards to freedom for this person or towards this connection, overcoming what might be stuck right now. Acceptance. I accept every step that life presents me without resistance. I try to find out what the universe is trying to teach me so that I can grow. Thus, I advance in freedom on the path of light. Yes, and look at all this purple. So I do feel like you're highly connected to the divine. Okay, and so there's a need to really accept what is. And so what is isn't necessarily what we think, because that's the mind. So when we start getting in our own head or in our own mind, we're making reasons or excuses or resistance or suffering unduly. And so we're needing to stay on the path of light. Okay, the path of acceptance, freedom, passion, and seeing the truth here, because there's a lot of love here. A lot of love. And so this is how we come into harmony. The divine fruit. Oh my goodness, I haven't seen this one. As I work to improve and free myself, I strengthen my foundations. My intellect is light, my heart is warm, and my soul is strength. I am nurtured by the divine sun. The fruit I bear reflects my inner light. Wow, I'm getting goosebumps. So what you give, the fruit you're creating, the more support here I feel, the light you're shining is the fruit you're giving to this connection is going to come back to you because it's reflected back. Okay, so your light from your heart space is shining. And I feel like the sun in reverse was really talking about you coming into your full light, you know, really allowing yourself to give the fruit of the divine here selflessly. You know, this is what is really the strength. And despite of maybe falling back in my old thought patterns or trying to talk myself out or resisting, I'm leaning into it with a full acceptance, improving who I am. And who I am as a divine being of God here, who's able to give of my truest light. You know, it's not dependent on anyone or anything other than just being of service, being of love. I am free. Today I find the veil of my ego has lifted and a vision of my new life has appeared. Now I am focused on my inner growth. I listen only to the voice of my heart, and I remain steadfast in the energy of love that I find there. I am now free of duality, fear, and judgment. I move forward on my path to inner peace. This is a very ascended pile. Very, very, very ascended. I feel like we've done a lot of shadow work. We got rid of a lot of ego. Okay. And I feel like there is no real suffering except for the suffering that might creep in there when it's ego. So we know we're total freedom when we're able to give selflessly. Okay. But I feel like there's some inner discoveries to do. So now that the ego is shed, it's like, look at self. What do I want with self? You know, what do I want for me? It's like strengthening the connection you have within yourself, not necessarily with this person. I feel like what you have with this person is very strong. I feel like it's uncovering and it's developing. But I feel like when you connect to yourself in a way here that develops this strength between you and your authentic, truest self, your fruit becomes greater, your light becomes brighter, your intellect, your warmth, your love, your strength, you become this radiant light. Okay. And I feel like this is what you're harnessing, is this strength and the light from within for everything and everyone outside of this connection. And there we see two swans, which again are symbolic of twin flames for me in the reading. Beyond limitations. Today I exceed my own expectations. I open my consciousness to the infinite. There are no limitations. There are no end. Everything is unfolding in a continuous now. Therefore, I open my thought towards a broader horizon. I look beyond my perception of reality, beyond all barriers created from my own beliefs and fears. I am now open to new possibilities. Wow. Yeah, you're ascended here in a way here. I feel that is allowing you to transcend past any construct of the mind. We might have to keep reminding ourselves, leaning into this, that the universe is happening all at once. Everything exists. There is no limitation. I am one with the Creator. I am free. Okay, and really move past any fears that might creep in. But I feel like we're doing a very good job in connecting to this divine light being inside of ourselves. Okay, and so appreciation. I'm grateful for the abundance in my life. As I direct my thoughts towards all that is wonderful in my world, my troubles and worries lighten. With a full heart, I appreciate all that I have. Today, I accept what is, as it is, and choose to be satisfied. I express my loving thanks to the universe for the wealth that is mine. Oh my goodness. So if we start to slip or feel, any part of us that might go back into the mind, we are being asked to really lean into the appreciation, really lean into the gratitude. I already have this abundance. I already have what is mine. The universe is abundant. God is good. God wins. Okay, I appreciate what I have. So seeing everything that's around you, accepting it as it is, this connection as it is, exactly as this person is in energy here, to allow it to be, is the most beautiful gift we can do. Okay, and choose to be satisfied. You choose to be satisfied. It is okay. There's nothing wrong with what's happening. Accepting reality as it is. When we resist or fight or try to change reality, then we suffer. So I accept how this person is, where they're at, give loving thanks to the universe for what is unfolding. And what's unfolding is divine beauty here. Okay, so this is true appreciation, surrender, gratitude, humility, acceptance, and then the fruit that you produce here on earth is nothing but beautiful divine light, okay, that warms our heart. So beautiful pile number 4. This is an absolute beautiful reading. I hope this helped you guys, and I will see you guys at the next one. Bye-bye.